What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, the Scripture Plug.Albert, and I'm back with another live stream, with another banger, with another time to get an understanding. To get an understanding, I came on here last week, I think. I came on here last week and I asked a question about Quran contradictions and stuff like that. And I just had one I wanted to bring up, and then people started like flooding the chats with a whole bunch of other ones too. But so we're gonna get into some of those today. But just to let y'all know, last week I just had a Quran contradiction when it comes to if the Quran is fully explained and detailed and whatnot, or is only some of the Quran detailed. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any answers, y'all. I wasn't able to get any answers, and the answers I did get was the ones I already stated was going to be said, that they were going to go to the tafsir, read the tafsirs of each verse, and just explain what each verse means, but not show how there's not a contradiction there. So with that, kept going. Had a couple people come up. Had people like Aladdin show up. He tried very hard to make sense out of the contradiction, but really didn't go anywhere with it because he really just did what I stated he was going to do at the beginning. And then we have people like Saeed. He showed up. Shout out to that brother right there. He tried his best, but he basically did the same thing too. He did the same thing. Didn't really get a good understanding of how this wasn't a contradiction because all they did was share what the tafsir said. So that contradiction, by the way, if you guys wanted to know, was, if I'm not mistaken, uh, 12, or excuse me, 11:1. 12, 11:1, excuse me. That is where it says that the Quran is perfectly explained and whatnot. And then there's another verse, and I think it's 23:16. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but where the Quran then says that only some of the verses are understood. So what I want to do today is pretty much go over a bunch of other contradictions. Not only because I don't I want to be fair. I want to be fair. I want to go over some contradictions not only for the Quran, but what people try to say that are contradictions of the uh, Bible as well. Now, with that being said, what I would like to have happen today is, as I'm going over the contradictions of the Quran, that if you're a Muslim, by the way, if you see, I put the stream yard link up there if you're Muslim, so you can come up and defend your faith, because I have the contradictions that the people like to say for the Bible, but I also have the responses as well. So we're going to read those. But because I am a Christian, obviously that's what's going to happen. But I want to have Muslims come up and share and their faith and defend what it is that they need to defend. And I got it pinned to the top too. So if anybody shows up, any Muslims show up, they can jump in and whatnot. But the first one I want to get to real quick. And so, with me being a plug channel, by the way, if you guys don't know what that means, no, I do not sell drugs. Not at all. Please don't try to say that just because my name is a scripture plug that has anything to do with drugs. I get it. I understand. I'm from the era where that's part of the slang and whatnot. But that's not what that means. What a plug channel is, what I do basically means that I give you guys information that obviously sometimes comes from me when it comes to my commentary, but other times, excuse me, it comes from other sources that are a lot more knowledgeable than I am. So that's the goal, to show other people, if you don't know, where you can find this information at, and then plug the people that do know. Simple. That's all that means. So for those out there that think, oh, it's this or that, no, that's all that is. So today I will be plugging in uh, Jay Smith, and there's a couple other writers, because Shabir Ali decided to come up with 101 contradictions for the Bible, and he wrote them all out and whatnot. He went through them all, and then the people like Dr. J. Smith and others, I think there's like 3 or 4 other writers on the page, then answers each one of the 101 contradictions. So I have that for my side, but I do want, if you're a Muslim in the chat, to come up and share for your side about these contradictions that we're going to go over. Now, with that being said, I'm going to be pulling all of the contradictions from answeringislam.com. Just so you guys know, answeringislam.com, Sam Shamoon writes for them, and a bunch of other people write for them. And we're going to be showing the 101, not all of them, obviously. It'll flash on the screen, but, we're going to be talking about and going over some of the 101 plus contradictions in the Quran. And we're going to see, if anybody out there can actually answer those. Real quick, shout out to everybody in the chat. God bless y'all for doing your thing. Winston, Luke, Carol B showing up, Rabbi, Brother Conley, DW. God bless you. So, first one I want to bring up, the first contradiction I want to get to. Shout out to my brother God Logic. He's actually the one who I seen this first show, and this comes from the Quran, obviously, because Quran contradiction. So we're going to read this real quick and see if any Muslims, either in the chat or even watching, later on can answer these contradictions. So, first one I want to bring up comes from Surah 29:13. So it states that, yet they will certainly be made to carry their own burdens, as well as other burdens along with their own. And they will surely be questioned on Judgment Day about what they used to fabricate. And obviously, we got both of them up there just so people can read. And if we get the context before and after, because again, over here, we want to get the context. We don't just want to read something and go from there. We want to get what's before, after, so we can. So the disbelievers say to the believers, just follow our ways, and we will bear the burden of your sins. Okay. But they would never want to bear any of the believers' sins. They are simply lying. I know that's right. And then above, we still got to distinguish those who have sure faith and hypocrites. So this verse or this passage seems like, they're distinguishing two people, obviously, or two groups of people. Some who say Allah is yada, da, 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 da. Okay, so now let's get a little bit from below it. Uh, Sweet, nothing that really. Okay, so simple passage from before and after it. We can see what's going on here. We can see that you just can't, bear the burdens of anybody. So this is what this verse says. Remember, this is Allah speaking, the unchanging word of Allah, eternal word of Allah. So then we get to 16:25. So now we go to, oops, that's not how that's supposed to go. That's a year. I'm trying to put in. Okay, there you go. So we go to 16:25 real quick. And it says, let them bear their burdens in full on the day of judgment, as well as some of the burdens of those they misled without knowledge. Evil indeed is what they will bear. So, contradictions first that we're going to go over is, why in the world in this particular passage does it state that some of the burdens will be bared if you misled somebody, but then the passage that we just read, none of them, none of them are going to be share none of the burdens because you can't take nobody else's burdens. So what I need, if there's Muslims in the comments, if there's anybody who wants to just jump up and try to defend this and share with me how this isn't a contradiction, by all means, that's what we're here for. I'm here to learn. I'm just bringing it to you guys so that you guys can then show me what it is. What's really going on with this verse? Why does this verse state right here that you can bear burdens, but the verse we just read, we just read it, says that, nah, you can't do that. Can't do that at all. And that man burden. So we got to figure that out. First one, I need help on. I needs the help. God bless you, Bruce Wayne. Batman showing up. Batman in the chat. That's what's up. That's what I like to see. So we got that one going. I need to know from you guys what's going on with this verse. But until we can get someone up here who actually wants to share and get into this, we can get into the other ones that are going to be topics of discussion. And again, shout out to all the people that write on Answering Islam because, man, they got some good stuff. They got some amazing stuff going on here. So we're just going to look at it. So let's see. We're going to share the screen and we're going to get to some of these contradictions going on. So hopefully you guys can see what's going on here. And again, the source is right there, answeringislam.com. If you don't know, a powerful website that just talks about how to dismantle, destroy, and just show how false Islam really is. So, as we can see about the purpose of this page, we got all that. But let's go down and let's take a scroll. Let's take a stroll. So, as we can see right here, we got internal contradictions, all from the Quran. And what's cool about this is that you see one through as we scroll down and as we keep scrolling all the way to 121, but then you add 11 of them right there. Now, what's cool about this is that these aren't necessarily just, the right here isn't what you just see. So if you click on each one of these bad boys right here, like obviously who was the first Muslim, let's go look at that. We got a full article, a full article breakdown, y'all. It's not just a name the contradiction. It's not just a, hey, this is what it is. No, it's a breakdown of how we can understand what's being written, what's being talked about. That's a beautiful thing right there. Because when you go to Shabir Ali's 101 contradiction, all he's doing is pointing it out and say, hey, what's going on here? That's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You doing your thing. You just writing your 101 article. Cool. Been debunked. Sweet. But we got full articles on each one of them. Each one of them. And I know if you guys frequent Sam Shamoon, you know about these articles. But for those who don't know and those who don't frequent Sam Shamoon, Answering Islam does amazing work when it comes to, again, the fight against Islam. So, second one that we're going to be looking into, again, shout out to the writer of this. I don't necessarily see if I can see real quick who the writer was. I can't want to give them this, but look at all this stuff. Look, I'm just scrolling through real quick to see if I can see the author of it. Sam Shamoon and Joe Chin Katz, who tag teamed on this article right here. Shout out to those people right there. So as we can see, as I was just scrolling through, there's a lot of meat in here. See, that's one thing. People think the arguments from Sam Shamoon are like, you know, just basic or whatnot. No, when you actually get into it and break it down, like all I can't tell you how many times when I react to Sam Shamoon, all the Muslims will be like, "Oh, he don't know what he's talking about." Right there, read it and weep. Carol B, yes. So Carol B says, "Have you seen Jay Smith?" So part of what I'm going to be showing today as well as as we get into some of these contradictions and some of these articles is that I wanted to be fair and I didn't want to just show uh, Quran contradictions. So in about 30 or so minutes, if I can't get anybody to show up to talk about these contradictions, actually prove to me how they're not contradictions, then I'm going to switch to the Bible real quick and just talk about those. But so I do want to show the fact that Shabir Ali, and I do have it queued up, so I will be bringing that up as well, that he has 101 biblical contradictions. And then also, because I am a Christian, I'm going to be showing the responses of that from Dr. J. Smith and the others that were noted. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think there's like three other authors that respond to that. So I will be showing both because obviously this is a Christian channel. So obviously, not only the disputes of the Bible, but also how it can be answered. Now, granted, I won't go over all of them because against 101, it's a lot. But trust and believe, we're going to be going over a lot. And I'll tell you what, the crazy thing is, these 101, I I haven't seen all of them yet, but as I've looked through a lot of them, man, most of them Muslims don't even know about. They don't even use. They don't even understand. But hey, it is what it is. But real quick, let's get back into looking at this real quick, and actually let me go ahead on and actually make this bigger so that this can be seen. Oh, 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 oh. Actually, bam, there we go. We don't need to see me. Sweet. So, who was the first Muslim? Again, I'm not going to read all of this, but so we can get a good understanding of what's going on. By the way, shout out to Hatun Tosh, Muslim. You know how she say Muslim? Muslim? Got the Muslims. All right, so according to several passages in the Quran, Muhammad was the first Muslim. So we got these passages right here. We got these passages. Look at the middle one just because. Say verily, my Lord hath directed me into a right way, a true religion, the sect of Abraham, the Orthodox, and was no idolater. Say verily, my prayers and my worship and my life and my death are dedicated unto God, the Lord of all creatures. He hath no companions. This have I been commanded. I am the first Muslim, and that comes from Surah 6, 161 and 163. So, obviously, these other verses are talking about Muhammad being the first Muslim. And then it breaks down into some other ones. So, this one right here is talking about how Adam, Noah, and some other folks were all believers and da 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 da. So, we got some other people that are first Muslims. We have sent three, or the inspiration as we sent to Noah and the messengers after him. We sent inspiration to Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, and the tribes. To Jesus, Job, Jonah, Aaron, Solomon, and to David we gave the Psalms. We gave him Isaac and Jacob, all three guided, and before him we guided Noah. And among him, or excuse me, among his progeny, David, Solomon, Job, Joseph. So, they're getting some good stuff too from Allah. So if they're getting some good stuff from Allah, how are they not the first couple Muslims? All right. Let's see. Actually, I want to get to Ooh, okay, here we go. Abraham was not a Jew nor a Christian, but he was an upright man, a Muslim man, and he was not one of the polytheists. Okay, so Abraham was nothing of the sort. Actually, wasn't Abraham supposed to be one of the first Muslims too? Abraham, Adam's supposed to be first Muslim, Jesus is apparently Muslim. Matter of fact, this new argument nowadays, right? Oh, my bad, y'all. I got this up here. I'm tripping. I'm not even checking the chat. I need to do better. So, real quick, we have this new argument. Or it's not really a new argument, but this argument that's been going on that these Muslims are trying the dangest to be like Jesus is a Muslim. Jesus is a Muslim. That's what they want to fight for. That's what they want to do. They go to certain Bible verses when Jesus is prostrating and all this other stuff. They just want to read that verse, though. They don't want to read uh, the verses below it and whatnot. But that's neither here nor there. But they love to push this narrative. So if Jesus, they believe, was a Muslim and is a Muslim, and yet the Quran states that Muhammad is the first Muslim, then they're actually just contradicting themselves in an argument that doesn't benefit them at all. So now not only is the argument trash, but now they're throwing their own Quran under the bus by saying that Jesus is a Muslim because Jesus was well before Muhammad. So, man, these it's crazy seeing these Muslim arguments and how ridiculous they are. Matter of fact, guess what I just had today in the comment? Today I just had somebody in the comment state that Jesus said to not worship him, right? Because he believes that Jesus is a Muslim. He said, Jesus said, don't worship him. He said, it's in the Bible. It's there. I was like, well, that's nowhere in the Bible. So what he did was he quoted Revelation 22:9. And in 22:9, it stated that, no, get up, don't worship me. Uh, only worship God. What he failed to do, like most Muslims do, what he failed to realize is if you just read verse number 8, it says that John is talking to the angel. And the angel's the one that says, don't worship me. I'm not God. So he tried to use that verse 22:9 as a way to say, now that's Jesus. Though if you just read the verse right up there, and when I tried to tell him, read 8, he was like, nah, we in this verse. Anyway, so we can see the Muslim arguments are very trash and very bad. And yikes, they're not good for much of anything. So let's get back to some of these Quran contradictions. And again, so shout out to Sam Shamoon and these brothers. Again, I'm not going to read through all these articles because, as we can see, um, there's a lot of stuff that goes into them. But I do just want to show the folks who don't know. Again, answeringislam.com. You can see all these contradictions and a lot more when it comes to defending the faith and also attacking the nonsense of Islam. So let's see. Let's go back out real quick to go back out to some of these other ones. So we can see that, who suffers loss? Muhammad was wrong. Allah, Adam, and the angels. Obviously, who's the first Muslim? Can Allah be seen? And did Muhammad see his Lord? So we got a lot of stuff here. We got a lot of these contradictions. And again, these are just the footnotes to these deep, deep, deep dives of these particular contradictions. But I want to get into one more as well that I enjoyed that I was looking at earlier. Oh, haha. Actually, let's look into this real quick. Man, hmm, I love this one. Shout out to Sam Shamoon. Shout out to Sam Shamoon doing this thing. So, Alif Lam Ra, a book whose verses are set clear and then distinguished from one all wise, all aware. Surah 11:1. Surah 11:1 states this right here. A book that clearly explains everything, and multiple other passages as well. Again, 12:11, or excuse me, 12:111, and what 41:3, and some other ones, 15:1. There's a bunch of different verses that state that the Quran is clear and perfectly explained and fully detailed in many different ways. It's not just the one way; it's many different ways. It basically covers, and each way is about 7 or so. They all cover basically the whole of the Quran, stating that again, the whole of Quran is perfected, explained, all that fun stuff. So, shall I seek a judge other than Allah while it is? He who has sent down unto you the book, the Quran, explained in detail, 6:114. And we have sent down on the book, making clear everything, and as a guidance and mercy, and as good tidings to those who surrender, 1689. A book whereof the verses are explained in detail, a Quran in Arabic for people who know. But yet, even though it is explained, or excuse me, a Quran in Arabic for people who know, don't nobody know what Alif Lam Ra is, and that's supposed to be an Arabic word. That's supposed to be an Arabic word, Alif Lam Ra, but apparently don't nobody know what this word is. But apparently, again, it's sent down for the Arabic people who know. Don't nobody know. Apparently, only Allah knows. But yet, he kind of abrogates stuff that he's supposed to know. That's eternal. But that's a whole other thing. We'll get to that later. The implication of the aforementioned text, or aforementioned, excuse me, text, is that all of the verses of the Quran are clear and that the Muslim scriptures doesn't contain any passages that are obscure or difficult to grasp. Yet this is contradicted by the following verse that says there are passages which is not entirely clear, whose meanings are known only by Allah. And I love this one so very much. Again, this is the one I went and talked about last week, where I'm still waiting for somebody to answer. Um, I'm still waiting. There was a couple that tried, but nobody to really say like, no, this ain't a contradiction because X, Y, Z. It is who sent down to you, Muhammad, the book, Quran. In it are verses that are entirely clear. They are the foundation of the book, and those are the verses of Al. Okay, that's just a commentary. Yeah, da, 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 da. And others not entirely clear. So, as for those in whose hearts there is a deviant or deviation, they follow, and which is not entirely clear thereof, seeking all that stuff, and seeking for the hidden meanings, but none know its hidden meanings save Allah. And those who are firmly grounded in knowledge say, we believe in it. The whole of it, clear and unclear verses, are from our Lord, and none receive admonition. We'll go with that. Except men of understanding. Bam. So I'm still trying to figure this out, and this is another one that we are getting into and looking at. That the Quran states it's clear in many different verses and as perfectly explained and all this other stuff, but yet in 3:7 it states, nah, only some of it is. But again, I did have people try. I did have people try that Allah, He understands it all, so it's clear to Him, I guess. The Quran is clear to Him. So forget everybody else who doesn't get it. As long as they don't, try to change it or whatnot, it's all right by the Muslims. Still doesn't answer the contradiction, though. Still doesn't answer the contradiction. So let's see what some of these other ones are. Man, worshiping the same or a different God? All right. Where is Allah and His throne? Man, who knows? The origin of calamity, merciful is Allah's mercy. All these amazing, amazing words. Shout out to everybody again at Answering Islam. If you don't know, this is where we're at, answeringislam.com, looking at all the contradictions of the Quran. And for those who are just joining, all these right here are the contradictions, but yet don't just think that, oh, it's just this right here. That, oh, these are just the contradictions. No, it goes in depth of why and explains how they're contradictions. So these are all different articles for the 100 plus contradictions. Moses in the Injil, can slander of chaste women be forgiven? Can angels disobey? All this. 3 contradictions. Man, that's a. I think I read that one because I clicked on it. I can't remember it though. I have to go look back at that. Here we go. This is one of the ones I want to look at. Abrogation. This is one that kind of confuses me all to get out. All to get out because I do not understand, right? How in the world? And let's see who wrote this one first. I can't see it. Oh, well, whoever wrote this, shout out to them. I just love this one because it confuses me, the abrogation thing, right? Because the Quran eternally existed, eternally was there, eternally never been corrupted, never changed, anything like that. But yet there's verses in the Quran that Allah was like, nah, this one's better. How can you have better than perfect? If what was written, if what was understood as perfect eternally, there should be absolutely no reason for anything at all, to be abrogated for another verse because perfect can't get no better than perfect. Am I tripping, y'all? Am I tripping? Does that make sense to anybody? How the Quran's perfect verses somehow get abrogated for better perfect verses? Help me. People in the comments. Help your boy. Muslims out there in the world. Help your boy understand what's really going on here. But anyway, let's look into the article real quick. That was just my lack of understanding, I guess. But the words of the Lord are perfect in truth and justice. There is none, pow, none who can change his words. He both heareth and knoweth. Heareth, excuse me. Boy, I tell you what, I need to get a Hooked on Phonics class. None can change. That's damn. None. Pow. Bang. Bam. Can change the words of God. There is no changing the words of God. That is the mighty triumph. And recite what has been revealed to you of the book of your Lord. There is bang. None who can alter his words, and you shall not find any refuge besides him. Any refuge besides him. But we get to where the contradictions are now. However, and for whatever verse we abrogate, by the way, it's kind of weird that, that weaves there. And what I found out last week, y'all, apparently, because this verse right here says we, this is also one of those non-concise, non-precise verses because it's not detailed. It's not known. Why does it say we? So when it comes to people like us who are Christians and anybody else who says we, like, oh well, Muhammad's supposed to be one, but yet there wasn't a royal we back then. So why is he talking about some we? This is one of those verses from 3:7 that's not concise. This is the one of the ones that's being talked about right here. And I learned that. Shout out to Aladdin for teaching you, boy, that. Don't help with nothing, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, and for whatever verse we abrogate and cast into oblivion, we bring a better or the like of it. We bring a better or the like of it. All right. Knowest thou not that God is powerful over everything? He is so powerful. He's even powerful than his own perfect, unchanging word. Perfect don't even make no never mind to him because it's more perfect. Y'all remember that commercial back in the day with Kobe and Kanye West? And Kobe was like, how do you practice harder? He said, more practice. And how do you get better? More better, or something like that. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. But that's what happens. You can have perfect, and then you can have more perfect. Thus quotes Allah, or thus says Allah. There we go. And when we exchange a verse in place of another verse, and God knows very well what He is sending down, they say, "Thou art a mere forger." Nay, but the most of them have no knowledge whatsoever. So we can see right here that in the Quran it says none. But I know what they'll say, y'all. I'll know what they say because I get it. If y'all didn't know, I'm a triune God believing Muslim. So I understand their tactics from time to time. Because I'm an original Quran only Christian, I know how to really read the real Quran and I know which verses and which words are to be used in the right manner, in the right way, and forego the rest because it's all corrupted. Not all of it though. Like this right here. I get where they're coming from. So right here, as you can see, I got it lit up. None. What happens, y'all? Hear me out. Hear me out. What happens when you drop that N from none? Let me know if you can see it in comments. What happens when you drop that N from none? Muslims, I feel y'all. I'm hearing y'all out. I get it. I know what you're going to say to this because if you drop the N from none, you get one, y'all. You get one. And what's that mean? That there's one who can change his words. And that one is Allah. Because again, he can change perfect. Perfect better than perfect. So that doesn't mean none. In Arabic, that really means one. You abrogate the N from that, bam. You feel me? You feel me? You take off and abrogate that N. You take that bad boy away, bam, one. One can change his words. Who's that one? Allah. Can I get a witness? Can somebody say, Inshallah? Or what else? Astaghfirullah. Can somebody hit your boy with some praise in the chat for breaking that down real quick? Can somebody, anybody, help? Because I need somebody. Help. Not just anyone. Help. I need the one, and that's Allah. So, breaking down these abrogated verses, y'all. Breaking down the abrogated verses of what's going on in the chat And here we go. See, they know what it is. Breaking it down when the truth is the truth. When the truth is the truth, you just gotta let it be known. You just gotta let it be known that one for sure is Allah. And it doesn't really mean none. So there can be some changes to the verses. So, man, we got verses being abrogated that no one should be able to abrogate. We got uh yes, I try my best. Sometimes I throw in some I mess up. I mess up because there's one time I was quoting Meatloaf, but I was actually quoting ACDC or the other way around. I can't remember. But so I try to, throw in some from time to time. Uh oh, is that too small for y'all? Ah, my bad, y'all. Hold on, let me see if I can't even on the big screen it's too short or too small. Let me know. All right. All right, shout out, Marion. So I see some more people coming in. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Marion for showing up. My brother Only Love, Rabbi. Where's she at? Where's she at? Lynn Bates, shout out. Appreciate you showing up. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Winston, Una in the chat. Man, let me shout out Una real quick. Una helped your boy out. She gave me a lot of resources that I'm gonna be digging into. So shout out to Una in the chat. Top, top man, amazing person out of nowhere. Just sent me a bunch of stuff. God bless her for that. So I'm gonna be. There's a lot of stuff I got to look through. A lot of stuff, but we're gonna make it do what it do. So if there's any Muslims though, there's a pinned comment for Muslims to come up and answer for some of these contradictions that's going on. Again, I'm not gonna answer for you. I tried to answer the last one. I think I did a pretty good job being a triune, uh, God believing Muslim myself. I think I did a pretty good job at trying to help you guys out with that one. But what I need you guys to do is come up and tell us how in the world is the Quran clear and perfectly explained, but then not clear and perfectly explained. How in the world are uh, perfect verses that are eternal abrogated for other perfect verses that are eternal? Um, and also, how is none supposed to be able to abrogate anything or change anything? But yet, there's one who's going to be able to do that. And then also, what's the first one we looked at? Oh, the bearer of burdens. How can some people bear burdens of others, even though they misled them? But then in the Quran, it also states that nobody can bear anybody's burdens. So what's going on? What's going on? Crystal's in the chat. God bless you, Crystal. I didn't. Do I see? Let's scroll up a little bit so I can see Crystal. Uh, there we go, Crystal. Hey, she's dope. She's amazing. Shout out to Crystal. Much love. So, help me out, Muslims. Help me out. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with these particular contradictions. So, let's see if I can actually go and find me another one out I want to look into real quick. Will Jesus burn in hell? Whoa, hold on now. Jesus is raised to Allah, Surah 4158. Nearest station with him, Surah 345. Worship by millions of Christians. Yet Surah 29 says that all that worship by men besides Allah will. Ooh, ouch. Well, didn't know about that one. And there's a whole another 11. Oh, you guys can't see what's going on right now. I ain't got the thing on. Oh well. But isn't abrogation proof that oral tradition recitation of the Quran is unreliable way? Facts. Yes. Yes, it is. Doesn't make sense. Actually, I just did a reaction video to an older video. Shout out and rest in peace to Nabil Qureshi, but with David Wood and Nabil, and they broke down some of the surahs that talk about how certain verses were forgot, and how you know I forgot the main, but there's the main reciter of the Quran was he was singing his own tune, I guess, and then the other reciters was like, "Nah, bro," jumped him. It was like, "Yo, let me get your Qurans," beat him up, broke his ribs a little bit, tore him up, took his Quran, and it was like, "Nah, we're going with mine." So that happens from time to time. So um, the oral tradition of the Quran is definitely unreliable because Allah knows best. Many verses and surahs were lost, forgotten, since, and some were eaten. Some were eaten apparently, y'all, by sheeps or goats, whatever one you want to go with. Sheeps, goats, whatever. They was eaten. It happens though. Goats be hungry. I ain't never had a goat before, but I can assume because like if you ever go to a zoo and have the goats in there and you like put the food over there in your hand, them things be gone. Eat them like crazy. It's facts. So I can see how one of them would eat Quran paper. So a lot again, answeringislam.com for those who do not know, answeringislam.com is where I was reading off of those Quran contradictions. And again, if you just type that in your search bar, boom, you'll be able to see. And there's a lot more content on that. Answeringislam.com. Not only does it talk about contradictions, but also just talks about how there's just so many errors and how the Quran just doesn't make sense, whether it be historically, logically, whatever way you want to think about it. It just doesn't meet any standard really at all, and how it just folds in on itself. But yet there's people that fall into it and people that believe in it because of lies and things of that nature. I was actually watching, I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before, IP, as in Inspired Philosophy, David Wood, and Apostate Prophet, Prophet, and they were talking about how Muhammad Hijab is just a flat out liar, and it's crazy that so many of these Dawagandists on YouTube will admittedly lie and not care about lying, but yet people still follow them, and they're like, "Oh well, we're here now, so we might as well keep it going." People get lied to, then they jump to Islam, find out that they are lies, and they're like, well, I'm here." It's crazy. It is crazy. But so until we get some Muslims up here that can answer some of these contradictions, what I'm going to do is let's go ahead on and look at these contradictions for the Bible. Because again, I want to be fair. I don't want to just show the Quran contradictions. I also want to show the Bible contradictions as well. But thank God for people like Jay Smith that go out and answer these, and everybody else who does. Now, before I share these, I do want to explain that I myself, certain contradictions I just don't care about. So, for example, when it comes to numbers being wrong, I have the belief that most of them are probably just copyist errors. I have no issue with that. I have no issue with 666 or 616, whatever one it is. I don't, who knows? I don't. But to me, whether it is 616 or 666 or whatever, it's not nothing that's going to be no never mind to my understanding or beliefs or any of them other ones, because a lot of them, a lot of these are, man, they are just numbers. But thank God again for the people that break it down and get into it. So, uh, let's see. And this isn't coming from their actual website. This is actually coming from this is coming from Bibli Biblica, but this is of their article. I just like how they have it written down a little bit more. It's easier to follow, and it's kind of like because the when you go to their website, it's broken down into pieces. This one just has like everything combined. So this is why I'm here with this one right now. So uh, let's look at this real quick. So here we go. Hopefully, can everybody see this? Let me know. I can't really make it bigger because it's on the thing, but well, let me see. Is this okay? That makes it big as can be. So hopefully everybody can see this. If not, let me see if I can't zoom in a little bit. All right. So, and again, this comes from Biblica, and this is just again that article from Dr. J. Here we go. Dr. J. Smith, Alex Chowdhury, Toby Gibson, James Sheffer, and then bam. So a bunch of people collabed on this to get it done, get it knocked out. So it breaks down what a contradiction, definition of revelation. So we got the substance, y'all. It's not just like Shabir Ali, 101 contradictions, just write them all out. Nah, we got to understand it. We don't just write some stuff and throw it out there. These brothers right here go in depth so that people can understand what these words really means and what our understanding truly is. So again, if you want to reach this, you can. I'm pretty sure if you just look up Dr. J. Smith answering Shabir Ali's 101, or here you go. I think this is the actual topic right here, or not topic, but I think that's the actual name of the article. The charge of 101 contradictions by Muslim apologist Shabir Ali refuted. So if you just type that in the search bar, you'll be able to see, um, this article, and then the actual website as well. So, man, look at all this depth in here. So the Quran gives authority to the Bible. We know that, but the Muslims be hating. The Muslims be hating because their standard is built on shaky ground. So then they try to say, "Oh well, no, the Bible is." that you guys have isn't the Bible that they had back then. So what they confirm isn't what you guys have. And then, they can't never show why or how or where it's at, nothing like that. But yes, this is basically right here what I hold to. Shout out to Andrew. We believe essential preservation and inspired transmission, but I wouldn't trust one single English version. English is crazy. Yes, so I hold to that as well. That the theology and the basic understanding, that's what we need, which isn't changed anywhere. One person I love to listen to a lot is Dr. Dan Wallace. I love listening to people like Dr. Gary Habermas, Michael, all these people, right? But Dr. Dan Wallace has amazing, which I reacted to on this as well, an amazing breakdown of our textual history, textual criticism. Amazing breakdown. I hold to that because he knows a lot more than I do. And it just makes sense that, we have this understanding. And again, people like Frank Turek and all these other people that, have this understanding. Bruce Metzger about how awesome and how amazingly preserved our ancient text is. So I do hold to that understanding that the theology doesn't change, who God is doesn't change, none of the essentials change. The only things that are, because people suck at writing, I suck at writing. So, if I was a scribe back then, it'd be a lot. If some of y'all might think these fours are nines, you know what I'm saying? Some of the zeros might look like sixes because sometimes I do a little high loop up top. Who knows? So I get it. I understand that. But the basic theology and the understanding, that doesn't change. So God does not change his word. I know that's right. Contradictions analyzed. So look at all this meat. Obviously we're not going to read through all this, but so they're breaking down right even before they get into the 101 contradictions. So getting a good understanding. And again, Dr. J. Smith, if you write Dr. J. Smith refutes Shabir Ali's 101, you can find this. Uh, so, number one, does God incite David to conduct the census of his people? So, this one is one that I've never heard a Muslim bring up. I've never heard, n- I just haven't. I've heard an atheist bring this up. This is actually something I haven't even found out until I actually looked at Dr. Shabir Ali's 101. So, if you don't know, the basic breakdown of this is God wants us to do something, and Satan wants us to do something. Satan wants us to be in the flesh to go against God. God's like, no, follow me, and then boom. So that's basically the breakdown of this. But look at this detail, y'all. So if you guys don't know, Dr. Shabir Ali's is literally just right here. So this is what Dr. Shabir Ali's article is. The 101, like this. No substance, no nothing. He doesn't want to give you any meaning or context to what's going on. He just wants to share this right here. That's all he's doing. Now, remember, when we were looking at the Answering Islam contradictions on the Sam Shamoon one, it wasn't just the verse and everything like that. It was actual breakdown of what's going on. Dr. Shabir Ali's does not do that. It just has this list. So this list, and it's very just vague and just bam right there. But thank God again for these brothers because they take this right here and they go pow. They hit it with all this right here. But let's get down to the meat of the matter right here. So let's just read this real quick so we can get a good understanding. Thus, we have five other examples where both the Lord and Satan were both involved together, though with entirely different motives. Satan's motives in all these examples, including the census by David, was driven by malicious intent, while the Lord in all of these cases showed an entirely different motive. His was a benevolent motive with a view to eventual victory, while simultaneously increasing the usefulness of the person tested. In every case, Satan's success was limited and transient, while in the end, God's purpose was well served, furthering his cause substantiality. Substantially. And why do I keep adding stuff? Anyway, substantially. So, this breakdown is talking about XJW. Shout out. Shout out to the XJW in the chat. God bless you, brother. Thank God you came to know the truth. Hanging out with us. Appreciate you popping up. So, first contradiction, basically what it's talking about is what God wants people to do and what Satan wants people to do. And then obviously when we follow what God wants us to do, the motive is pure and it gives us strength and it gives us power. But when we give into the flesh, we obviously, lean towards that way. So Contradiction number one, and see, now we're going to start getting to a lot of them that have the numbers. And I do, anybody who wants to look at these, again, Dr. J. Smith refutes 101 contradictions by Shabir Ali. You just type that in the search bar, you will find it. Another one has numbers. So, as we can see, again, these are good breakdowns. Uh, this one, I've seen Muslims bring this one up all the time. This is one that famously uh, Sheikh Uthman, Sheikh Ketchup Boy, as Sam Shamoon and others would say, one way apologetics would say as well. Shout out to Chris Claus, about the age. So there's many different ways that people break this down, which is actually cool because a lot of these get into the many different ways. So look, it even says two examples given right here. So there's with King as a high as age, I think there's a way that you can like measure up the years and it equals whatever it's supposed to say. But ultimately, I just hold to the fact that copyist error. That's just something I believe in, whether it be a cop out or what, copyist error. I've heard enough people who know a little bit more than I do that state that the numbers, how they were written, were really close together, and the scribe's handwriting sucked. So, but if you don't want to go with the copyist error, obviously you can get it's broken down right here with the ways that you can add things up, and bam, right there. So it's all right there. The breakdown, the time. Let's see if we can't find anyone that's very big that I've seen a lot. The sheaf. Nope, people don't really talk about that one. Da- 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 da. I've never really heard anybody talk about the ark. And what's crazy is so many times you'll see people, whether they be Muslims or atheists, talk about like the contradictions in the Bible, but yet they don't never really talk about them. They just be like, "Oh man, so many contradictions," and you say, "Well, show me," and then they really be like, "Nah." The one major one that people go to all the time is the one with Judah and how Judas and how he died. For some odd reason, people love to go to that one. That's the one I've seen the most. Uh, King has as a high as age, or how do you pronounce that brother's name? I've seen that one quite a few times. Um, the creation story, how people bring that one up all the time. So some of those I see a lot, but a lot of these I've never even really heard of. But yeah, a lot of them still have to deal with like the numbers and everything like that. Uh, Here we go. Numbers, Israelites. Okay, see, there's some more numbers. Let's see if there's any other cool ones. Both Ezra and Nehemiah. Speaking of Ezra, hold on. Let me know in the chat real quick. Real quick, let me know in the chat if you know this, because this may not be true. When I was listening to Apostate Prophet and David Wood on their last live stream with Inspiring Philosophy, shout out to them brothers, by the way. If you don't follow them, go follow them. Um, but they were talking about how in the Quran it states, and eventually I'll go look this up because this might be my next live stream because I heard it. I was like, "Ooh, that's pretty cool." But in the Quran, does it state? And maybe Winston can tell me this because I know he's very knowledgeable. But I know a lot of people are very knowledgeable in the chat as well. But did they say in the Quran that Ezra was worshipped by the Jewish people? Is that really a thing? If so, how come I've never heard about that much? That would be something I would think people should talk about a lot. Like, how in the world the Jewish folks worship Ezra? Where does that come from? Let me know in the comments. Is that really a thing? Is that what's really going on? I heard that and I was like, well, I want to look into it, but I haven't had a chance yet because I've been a bit busy. But let me know in the comments. Is that a thing? Surah 9:13. Okay, actually, I'm about to look that up right now. I'm about to go look that up right now. Forget all the nonsense. Let's go look it up. Surah 9:30, because this would be a whole nother live stream if this is the case. Why did I type in Surah without the 9:13? What, or 9:30? All right, Surah 9:30. The Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah. Nah, bruh. Nah. Okay. The Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah, while the Christians say the Messiah is the son of Allah. Such are their baseless assertions, only parroting the words of earlier disbelievers. May Allah condemn. Hold on. The Jews say Ezra. Oh, dang, that says it too. Okay. The Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah, and the Christians say the Messiah is the Son of Allah. Okay, well, okay. So okay, here let's see what the okay, let's go up here. And it said the Jews, Uzer. Okay, so okay, okay, son. God dang, man, that's there too. Holy smokes, Jolly G Willikers, Batman. So apparently, somehow, Allah is so perfect and makes so much sense and knows everything. He knew about the one dude that may have whispered in somebody's ear, "Yo, you know Ezra? That's the son of Allah." And he was like, "You know what? Because there's that one person and I heard him with my all-powerful ear, I'm gonna put it in my Quran so people can understand that people believed in that, whether it was one or not. I don't even, but you know. So wow, I didn't know Ezra, the son of Allah. So not nan time, because they were saying this, and this is something I've never heard of in my life as well. Nan time has anybody ever was like, you know what, that Ezra character, son of Allah. But apparently in the Quran it is. Yep, I think that has to be my next focus. My next live stream focus is the history of what's going on here. Because man, it's another historical claim that trash. So the Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah. That is crazy, y'all. That is crazy, man. Mm, mm, mm. But y'all Muslims, see that I know for certain that these Muslims really don't be reading their stuff. They really don't be reading their stuff. Next matter of fact, next time a Muslim says, "Hey, Muslims know the Quran word for word and can recite it," I'm gonna be like, "I bet, recite me 930." Random. I'm just gonna remember random Quran things. Next time somebody says, "Oh, we can recite this," I bet recite this real quick. Say this right now. And well, actually, that might backfire because they can say anything in Arabic and I just won't know. But I can assume that nah, they probably won't know 930. Do they just like wipe it on the rug or what do they do with that? When so actually Muslim folk, there has to be one Muslim in the comment. I know it. Yasin's getting cooked in the comments, but I know he's probably in here. I'm sure. Somebody. Let me know. How do you deal with the fact that nobody has ever called Ezra the son of Allah and yet, Quran's doing that? That's crazy. That's like when, Mary's a part of the Trinity. Like, why is that there? That makes no sense. Even like, to a lesser extent, the fact that they say that Mary's the son of Aaron, that's quite ridiculous as well, but that's still in there. And yet the Muslim people be like, nah, that makes sense. Because if you really say that, Mary got the same blood and then, but the sister, brother, cousin, uncles twice removed from the baby's mama side from the auntie, that's how it gets done. Muslim thinking 101, y'all. Muslim thinking 101. All right, so yeah, that I'm sorry, but Ezra just popped up and I was like, oh man, I remember that. So uh where we at? Did 200 singers or 200? Man, these numbers, man. And what's crazy is I bet Dr. Shabir Ali didn't actually even read through the Bible and find all these. Nope, I know he didn't. I don't really want him to and don't expect him to, but Joshua and the Israelites did. I'm gonna find some cool ones. These are okay. Jacob and Heli. Okay, yeah, these are the cool ones. Matter of fact, yo, here's an people in the comments be making me laugh. People in the comments makes me laugh. So I had somebody tell me that because I asked him about Mary being a Levite and being the sister of Aaron, and she was like, "Oh well, the Bible breaks it down, and the Bible says yada yada yada." Because she brought me to where Elizabeth and Mary are cousins, right? And she's like, "See, they're in the same line." But then I, explained to her how that just doesn't make any sense. But then so I broke down and I sent her the verses of the genealogy of Mary, and she said, she said, because in the genealogy it says son of Levi. I'm pretty sure she was dead serious when she said this. She said, "See," and pointed at the verse and said, "See, she's a Levite because part of the lineage is son of Levi, which son of Levi is generations even after David, after everybody, son of Levi." She's like, "See, Levite." I wish, and some of y'all do, because some of y'all be killing in the comments. Some of y'all be, man, making these people look foolish in the comments. But some of these comments, It's comedy gold. Comedy gold. There's so many things I want to do with just like screenshotting and just putting up these comments so that we can all just laugh at them. But I just don't, I just don't have the time for all that. But I would love to one day. So, the breakdown here, let's read this real quick because this is actually a good one to get into. So, the answer to this is simple but requires some explanation. Most scholars today agree that Matthew gives the genealogy of Joseph and Luke. Gives the genealogy of Joseph and Luke, gives that Mary, making Jacob the father of Joseph, and Heli the father of Mary. This is shown by the two narrations of the virgin birth. Matthew tells the story only from Joseph's perspective, while Luke is told wholly from Mary's point of view. A logical question is to ask why Joseph is mentioned in both genealogies. The answer is again simple. Luke follows strict Hebrew tradition in mentioning only males. Therefore, in this case, Mary is designated by her husband's name. This reasoning is clearly supported by two lines of evidence. In the first, every name in the Greek text of Luke's genealogy, with the one exception of Joseph, is preceded by the definite article, the Eli, the that. Although not obvious in English translations, this would strike anyone reading the Greek who would realize that it was tracing the line of Joseph's wife, even though his name was used. The second line of evidence is Jerusalem's Talmud, a Jewish source. This recognizes genealogy to be that of Mary, referring to her as the daughter of Eli in this source. Bam, look at them bringing the sources out, y'all. Bringing out the sources. That's what it's about right there. That's what it's about. So, for those of you who didn't know, now you know. Now you know. When people be like, well, what about this? Bam, right there. And I was, and like anytime that you can have somebody say, oh, this is contradiction, if you don't already know how to answer it, all you have to do is like literally Google it. Because I've never seen one contradiction that actually um, held up as a contradiction. What is doing here? Okay, Zerubbabel. Okay, so okay, now we're getting into who was. The question is essentially the same as I'm 30. Joachim was mine, his grandfather. Okay, cool. So we got more numbers. We got who was the father. Nah, 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 nah. Oh, no, conclusion not possible. Although, ooh, okay. So let's look at this real quick. Okay, plausible explanation can be found. The most probable answer to this is that the genealogy in the Masoretic text of Genesis telescopes the generations as does Matthew in his list. When we look at the Septuagint, we find the name of included as the father. Echoing, on that same note, if we refer to the Septuagint, we then look at Genesis 11 and find. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Okay, well, all right, cool, cool, cool. So, a lot of contradictions here, y'all. But again, thank God. Shout out again to Dr. J. Smith. If you want to find these contradictions, just type in Dr. J. Smith refuting Shabir Ali's 101 contradiction, and bam, you get all 101 right here being refuted. So, again, for those who are just tuning in, what I didn't want to do is I didn't just want to show Islam's or the Quran's contradictions without, showing that we ain't got no shame in our game. Ain't no running, ain't no hiding, ain't none of that. We gonna be like, hey, Shabir Ali has this claim of 101. Obviously, some other people may have those same claims. Boom. We got brothers like this that are breaking down and showing that those claims may not be as accurate as you think. But for those of you who are just joining, and if you may be a Muslim, I do have a few contradictions that I need you guys to help me out with. So I believe there's a pinned StreamYard link. Muslims, come up and share and tell me how these contradictions are not contradictions. Because I keep hearing all the time that, oh, the Quran has zero contradictions. But yet, if you were here from the beginning, you were shown multiple, over 100 plus. That's why if you see the thumbnails, 101 and then 101 plus, because the Quran has over 101 contradictions in it. So let's see. So just going to show real quick that he does indeed answer every single, well, they, excuse me, answer every single one. Oh, now we're getting to the good stuff. Now we're getting to the good stuff. And look at these detailed breakdowns, y'all. Detailed breakdowns of how to answer these quote unquote contradictions. Man, this one had everything in there. All right. It's all there. It's all there. So we up to the 70s now. We at the 80s, every single one, detailed explanation. So if you don't know, now you know. So for you Muslims out there that are trying to use these arguments, go ahead on and just look at everything. Look at the scope of everything that's going on, because what's really going on is ain't no contradictions, y'all. Ain't no contradictions that can't be explained when it comes to the Christian belief. But I know that's right. But so I did what it is that I was supposed to do. I shared the Quran contradictions and I shared the Christian contradictions. I just so happened to thankfully share some of the answers to those contradictions. So again, shout out to Dr. J. Smith and everybody who uh, contributed to that article and broke it down. So now I'm gonna be back, and then so what? We got a couple people in here. For those who are in here, if you are a Muslim, here you go. I'll do an easy one for you guys. I'll do an easy one. I'll bring this easy one up um, because I think this is just warm up. I want people to not be too afraid, because if there are Muslims in the chat, I want them to come up and really talk about this real quick. This is an easy one, y'all. This is an easy one to bring up, and I don't know why I just like this one so very much. So I'm gonna bring this one up for any Muslims in the chat that want to come and talk with your boy and tell me how this makes sense. So we got the abrogation, right? We got the abrogation. And the reason why I wanted to bring this one up again is because it's easy. So Muslims in the chat, we're talking about contradictions here. We're talking about why the Quran has these errors when it's written by one almighty, all powerful, all knowing being, but yet there's some issues. So, issue that for the Muslims in the chat, I want you, even if you don't want to come up, put the responses in the chat. Even if you can't come up on camera or talk about it, put the responses in the chat so we can see, for those who don't know, how we can answer this. How can we answer these claims? So, the words of the Lord are perfect and true. Actually, hold on. Let me make it big for everybody. Let me make it big because I don't have the big screen going. Let me make it big for everybody. So, Muslims, we here again. We here again, and I need the help. If you're watching this later on in the future because you couldn't make it to the live stream, answer these questions. And please, for the life of me, please, for my soul, for my peace, don't be one of the Muslims that ask a question that has absolutely nothing to do with anything in this video. That hurts my soul every time I go through the comments and I see, oh, well, uh, Jesus, his name wasn't really Jesus. That's a Spanish name. Ugh, annoys my soul when I see stuff like that. Don't make zero sense that people can see what the title is, watch the video, see what the video is talking about, and then say something completely different. Man, blows my mind. Anyway, the words of the Lord are perfect in truth and justice. There is none who can change his words. His he both heareth and knoweth all. Surah 6114. Bam. None can change the words of Allah. But we come down here for you Muslims in the chat, and for whatever verse we abrogate and cast into oblivion, we bring a better or the like of it. Wait, hold on. Time out. I wasn't even paying attention to this one last time. Cast into oblivion? Hold on now. How in the world, who do you think you are, Allah? Hmm? How can you cast your perfect, unchanging, eternal word into oblivion? What oblivion can eternity go into? Help me. I'm confused. I need the most help in the world because I don't understand that. Forget the contradiction at this point. I need to know, how in the world does eternal go into oblivion? Everlasting into oblivion. Unchanging into oblivion. Perfect into oblivion. There is so much that I don't get about this particular belief. Uh oh man, we got okay, what's your Johanna? What's your name? Jahan, there you go. Jahan Zipkhan. Show us. Show us. If you say that they're talked about, discussed, how about you tell us? I brought up the 101 contradictions for the Quran. or excuse me, not Quran, but the Bible, and talked about it and shown it. So how about you show us? And while you're showing us, uh, Jahan, tell me, help me understand how in the world, on top of that, can you cast eternal into oblivion? That's what I want to know. Tell me that too. That's a whole nother thing. That's really just a side note. That's just something that caught my eye. But anyway, so we got none can change the words of God, but yet somebody's changing the words and casting into oblivion. And when we exchange a verse in place of another verse, and God knows very well what he is sending down, they say, Thou art a mere forger. Nay, but the most of them have no knowledge. Mm. Actually, let's read. Let's break it down. So, because they're breaking it down, let's look into some of this. Here is Ibn Kathir's commentary on Surah 18:27, taken from Tafsir Ibn Kathir abridged. Da, 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 okay. The command to recite the Quran and to patiently keep company with the believers, commanding his messenger to recite his holy book and convey it to mankind. Allah says, none can change his words, meaning no one can alter them, distort them, or misinterpret them. Page 142. Muhammad Assad comments on the same verse. According to Razi, it is on this passage, among others, that the great Quran commentator Abu Muslim al-Bat based his rejection of the so-called doctrine of abrogation, discussed in my note 87 on that. Okay, who cares? The following Muslim cites Surah as proof that the Quran is unchangeable. Why don't Muslims adopt the Quran to the needs of the modern age? The Quran. Oh man, so that actually, man, that kind of goes against that PDF file claim right there. If people don't want to change it, because man, that just means if it was good back then, it's good now. So that okay, cool. So that doesn't help that either. But that's a whole nother thing. The Quran states there is no changing the words of God. Cool. So that brother right there said that. Uh, in the footnotes, so the problem is obvious. On the one hand, Surah 6 115, 634, and 1064, and 1826 make it clear none, absolutely none, bold letters. The words of God, which is supported by the explanation of the commentators quoted. But on the other hand, God does change one verse for another verse, Surah 2 106, 16 101, and he does so through his messengers like Jesus, supposedly changing some rules given through Moses, and like Muhammad, who gives rules different again. So we got a lot of changes up going on now. We got a lot of changes. We got a lot of abrogation. God has given, well, Allah has given the power to Jesus to change, Muhammad to change. Everybody named Mama changing, abrogating, taking things out. Allah himself taking everything out. He said, No, I don't like that. That's my perfect word, but I don't like that. I need more perfect. That's crazy. That's crazy. And we had Jahan talking in the chat. He ain't been active in a minute. He said he could answer the question. I need some help. I need some help to figure out what's going on. Why is Allah stating that nobody, mm, mm, nobody, was that Johnny Gill? I don't remember. Whoever it was, shout out to them. So nobody's supposed to be changing the Quran, but yet Jesus can apparently change. Muhammad can change. Jibril can change. Everybody can change these perfect words that are eternal. Everybody named Ma. Mary probably changed a couple. Shoot. Every time. Oh, nope. I'm not going to talk about no hadiths. That would have been upsetting. Uh, talk about some of the times that well, really, the Quran's verses seem like they're changed more than Aisha's sheets were when she bled on them, and Muhammad was like, "Keep them here." That's crazy. That that is changed more than those sheets were. That's a whole nother thing. That was an impromptu. I shouldn't have said that. That was jacked up. There was no cause for that. I do apologize. But I do need to find out though, where in the world is this Jahan fella, and how is he supposed to ex- show us the truth? Show us the truth. Anybody, any Muslims in the chat, if you can tell me how in the world are some of these verses abrogated and some of these verses are not? Huh? Hmm? Let us know. Let us know. See, I shouldn't have did that. Now you're gonna be acting up in the comments. I shouldn't have said nothing. 'Cause now you're gonna be acting up crazy in the comments. And I ain't nobody gonna show up because I accidentally said that. But so for y'all, we got the abrogation one up first. Up first, we got abrogation. And then if you guys can answer the abrogation, we can move on to the next one. But right now, I'm trying to figure out about this abrogation. What's going on here? How's this perfect word changing? How's this perfect word changing? How in the world is perfect being changed? How in the world is it being cast into oblivion? Where does this eternal word go that's never changing, that's cast into oblivion? What oblivion does it go to? Does everything go to oblivion? When people die, do they go into oblivion? What goes into oblivion? Okay, so we got a response, kind of sorta. Jahan, let's see what Jahan said. Whatever verse, revelation, do we abrogate or cause it to be forgotten, we bring a better one or similar one. Now, know you not that Allah is able to do all things. That's the right translation. Cool. So, so Allah is able to change His perfect word for another perfect word. He's able to abrogate a perfect eternal verse for another similar and or better perfect eternal verse. If you could look at my face right now and see how distorted it is, trying to wrap my brain around the fact that you decided to come here and just give that verse or that understanding, acting like that really helps the situation. That does not help the situation. That does not answer why none can, but yet he can and someone can. And it also doesn't let me know how in the world does perfect get changed and upgraded to perfect. Was it perfect 1.0? Was it perfect 1.1? Perfect 1A, 1B? It wasn't all the way perfect. It was like a circle that had like a little bit of a ditch in it. Little bit of a you probably was drawing a circle, hit a little sneeze real quick, had to erase that line and put another one in there. What was going on that this perfect verse that's eternal gets abrogated by another perfect verse that's not supposed to be changed by nobody? I'm trying to figure out. See, and that's the thing too about like the Quran's contradictions. Even if, even if you can, even if I accepted his response, that doesn't really help the situation. Then I have just more questions about, okay, well, man, oblivion. Where are these eternal words coming from? What's more perfect than perfect? Is Allah not anybody? What's really going on here? Because what's happening is, if it is Jesus doing it, man, there's another verse that talks about Jesus being God right there. Because if Allah can change his perfect word, but yet Jesus is changing his perfect word, that man, Jesus again is God in the Quran. So what's really going on? But again, let me be fair. Let me really okay. So none can change the words of Allah, or none can change these verses, and then some can. Your response, Muslim fighting for his faith. That's what I like to see. Hopefully, he comes to know the truth, though. Whatever a verse, revelation, do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, we bring a better or similar one to it. Okay, yeah. So your response is literally just is literally just again part of the problem. It's part of the problem. That's what your response is, y'all. That's what the response is. That's again like when Aladdin came up last week and he was like, "Oh well, some verses are unprecise and other ones are precise." Yeah, no contradiction. Wait, time out. I'm agreeing with you. Some are precise, some are not. But unfortunately, the Quran states that the Quran's verses are perfectly explained, a detailed explanation of all things. How can it be detailed of all things, perfectly explained in multiple areas, but yet only some are precise and some aren't? Doesn't add up. But you ask a Muslim, What they do is they just, again, give you the verse that actually is part of what's in question. So just like Jahan just did, he just gave us a verse that's part of the question. Because again, there's the other verses that state none. None includes Allah, if you ain't know. So that really doesn't help. That really doesn't help. So we got the abrogation here. Anybody want to come up? Any Muslims in the chat that wants to come up and talk about how in the world does the verses in the Quran state that nobody can change Allah's words, but yet Allah's words are also being changed in the Quran. Allah's words are perfect, eternal, all this other stuff, but yet you can throw those aside for some other perfect, eternal verses. Help your boy out. Y'all need to help y'all brother Jahan out. He's over here struggling. He trying. He's the only Muslim right now commenting in the chat. He trying. He's trying hard. Not really trying too hard because he just quoted the verse that's already in question. But at least he's trying. Y'all need to help y'all boy out. Y'all want to come up? The link's in the description. It's there. It's actually, no, it's not in the description. Excuse me. It's pinned to the chat. It's pinned to the top. You see it. I know you see it. I'm looking at it right now and I see it. So it's up there. So the question for you Muslims, and this is just the first one. First one, there's 100 plus that we can go over. But I just want to know about this one. I feel like this is the easiest one for y'all to help your boy out with. Oh, Aisha changed the Quran too? What? So apparently, shout out to my boy Chucky, Sahih Muslim 629 states that Aisha changed the Quran. Yeah, that's crazy. Aisha did that? Aisha changing the Quran too? So not only Jesus, but Muhammad and Aisha? Wait, which one did he say? He said Sahih Muslim 629. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Sahih Muslim 629. Oh, Cheryl Pruitt, shout out. Oh, Rachel, God bless you. Shout out. Appreciate you popping up, showing up. Aisha's GOAT 8 part of the Quran. Yeah, that did happen. That did happen. All right. 629. Sahih Muslim 629. Ain't no way. Ain't no way Aisha. She half brain. She can't change it. She can't change it. You lying to me, Chucky. Let's see. Okay, let's look at this real quick. Nah, Chucky gotta be lying to me. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, no how that Aisha changing some stuff. You lying to me, my brother. You lying to me. Let's look at it. I gotta pull it up. So we're about to look at Sahih Muslim real quick. 6-9 or 629. All right. All right, let's pull this bad boy up. So we looking at it. Sahih Muslim 629. Aisha ordered me to transcribe a copy of the Quran for her and said, when you reach this verse, guard the prayers and the middle prayer. Inform me, so when I reach it, I informed her, and she gave me dictation like this: guard the prayers and the middle prayer and the afternoon prayer, and stand up truly obedient to Allah. Aisha said, this is how I have heard it from the messenger. Oh, dang. Hold on now. Hold on, y'all. Y'all playing with me. Chucky wasn't lying to you, boy. He was not lying. He said she said she did it. She done got the power from Allah too. Allah came down to her, choked her out with Jibril, probably drop kicked her, probably punched her in the chest again, turned her green, said, you know, even though you're half brained, I'm gonna let you change some of these verses too. I tell you what, they say Allah don't show no love. Allah show love. He letting everybody change. He's like, yo, my stuff is perfect. It's eternal, but y'all can change it. Y'all can put y'all 2 cents in there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not mad at y'all. I'm not mad at y'all. So, hey, we got this understanding that everybody named Mama. can change the Quran, but yet the Quran itself said none can change it. None can change the words of God, Surah 634, but yet Sahih Muslim 629 states Aisha, she got a different message. She ain't get the same message y'all got. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. She added to that boy's message right there. She added to Allah's message. She jumped on the feature. Y'all remember back in the day when y'all was listening to the music videos, like the Mace music videos? Mace music videos, they had the original song, and then after the song, they had the remix. They had a whole nother song really that nobody really cared about. Is that where Aisha's Quran comes from? The after? That's what's going on. She had the after song. She had the after song going on. So Jahan, he's there. He's there fighting, kind of, sorta, trying to fight for his Muslim brethren that ain't helping him out because they struggling. So we got the Quran stating in one area that it's nobody can change it. No one. If you drop the N, one can. If that's how you want to go about it. Ibn Kathir said that. I'm just playing. No, he didn't. He did not say that. So real quick, let's look at this. And can't nobody come up or talk with your boy. I'll probably be up here for about 5 more minutes. And then tomorrow, for those who want to show up and hang out with your boy, we're going to be going back to episode, I think, 7 and 8 of the Trinity in the Quran. And on Monday, I'll probably be up around lunchtime because I'm off again. So lunchtime, I'll probably go 3 lives in a row. Hopefully, Brother God Logic doesn't jump on early and, you know, do his thing. But shout out to him. Has some crazy live streams. Go check him out if you're not following him. But so just so you guys know, if you guys want to pop up 2 o'clock tomorrow after church, we're going to be after church, after some food, some lunch. We're going to be learning about the Trinity in the Old Testament again, the series that we're on. We're going to continue that, and then we're going to have another live on Monday, and then obviously some more reactions coming out. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I couldn't do many reactions because my internet's trash, and normally how I do reactions, I have to have internet. So I had to go to the reserves, and thank the good Lord, I had some reserves because I was able to drop some stuff. Because man, it was storming like crazy over here. If you're from the Midwest, well, I don't know if it's everywhere, but in Ohio, where I'm from, man, 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 it was storming like crazy. The last however many days, just rain. It's raining. That eclipse brought nothing but rain. So how did I actually get a hold of it? Man, that's a great question. I don't know. Allah knows best. Allah knows best. Good to see you as well, Rachel. Appreciate you pulling up. God bless you. Man, yo, shout out real quick. Shout out to this brother right here, Travis Dempster. This man is cooking folks in the comments. He is hitting people with haymakers, straight jabs, body shots, making people just crumble. This man right here, Travis Dempster, shout out to that brother right there. Shout out to that brother right there. I was going through and I was looking at all the comments, and man, this dude. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, my guy only love everybody who's in the comments, but I just want to shout this brother out because I think it was yesterday and the day before, man, he was cooking folks hard. Shout out to Travis Dempster. Uh, so, crazy how God literally spoke directly to all the prophets and Jesus, but Allah needed to send. I know that's right. I know that's right, Vlad. Don't make no sense to me. Don't make no sense to me. I just did I posted a short earlier about how, people love to talk about revelation and how revelation, that's not Jesus speaking. That's a vision. That's a vision of Jesus right there. That's not really him speaking. We don't know if he said that for real, for real. But yet, these Muslims be like, ah, but Allah said this. And what Quran? Who Allah ain't say nothing to nobody. It was Jibril who was choking out Muhammad. Jibril was up there giving old 1-2, drop kicking them, all that fun stuff. That was Jibril's work. Ain't no Allah. Ain't no Allah sharing nothing with nobody. He ain't come down and share no revelation to Muhammad. Mm-mm. Jibril did that. Jibril came out, said, "Ah, say what I want you to say." So if they're gonna treat revelation like that, but yet they rock with their Quran, man. But that's the Islamic standard though. Ain't none. Wet paper towel. That's what that is. They got a whole roll of wet paper towels. What you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with a whole roll of wet paper towels? It don't make no sense. Can't do nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. All you can do, stow it away. And that's what I do. Throw these arguments away, throw this belief away, throw this nonsense away. Best thing you can do for it. Throw it away and get the truth. Get you something that's on solid rock. Get you on something that's gonna be good for your soul, good for everything, not just good for your flesh. Because that's what the Quran tries to do. It tries to be good for your flesh. But what we got when it comes to our scripture, when it comes to who the true God is, who revealed himself to us in many facets, many different ways, however you want to slice it, whatever box you want to talk about, the only God that checks everyone is the God of the Bible. The only one. Historically, check. Philosophically, check. Logically, check. What else? What other categories y'all want to say? Whatever else, check. It's there. That's who we serve. Not this. Not some things are abrogated, some things ain't. Aisha abrogates. Jesus abrogates. Muhammad abrogates. Seems like verses are only abrogated after Muhammad gets caught up in some mess. Be like, hold on real quick, let me go pray. Pray for a little bit. Man, I know it's been about 15 years since my last revelation, but I know I'm in this pickle. My guy Allah, my guy Jabril really was like, yo, you're good here. You can marry your what was it, son's wife? Yeah, you can do that. Go on. I know that's what you want to do, so go ahead on. So Allah and Jabril and Muhammad got together and was like, I bet let's go ahead and throw that rule out. We're gonna marry that. We're gonna change that real quick. That's all that is. Hey, yo, shout out to King Tut. Hey, shout out to King Tut. God bless you, brother. I've been informed to pay my jizya. I appreciate you so very much. God bless you, brother. Always doing your thing in the chat too. I appreciate you showing up, showing love, popping out. Praise. Oh, you a lie? Firstly, oh, he's gonna try. He's gonna try. Okay, here you go. Oh, dang it, wrong one. Shout out to Vladigan. Praise be to Allah. Firstly, abrogation in Arabic means lifting and removing. In Islamic terminology, it means lifting a ruling indicated by a Sharia text on the basis of evidence from the Quran. Firstly, abrogation in Arabic means lifting and removing. In Islamic terminology, it means lifting a okay, that's cool. But the issue is we're talking about the Quran in itself. That's what we're talking about here. The Quran in itself is lifting and ruling on its own perfect eternal text. How's that make sense? Oh, he got some more. Let's look into that. He got some more. I don't want to sell him short. Or Sunnah. The concept of abrogation is based on the Quran and Sunnah, hmm and on the consensus of, and there is great wisdom behind it. In most cases, the abrogation was for the, bro. You could have said this quicker than you can type all this, but hey, it is what it is. It's all right. You ain't got to come up, but I do appreciate you for trying to fight for your boys. Uh, so with that, I'm just going to respond to that. So that's all well and good, my guy. Oh, here we go. He got the rest. For the purpose of making things easier for Muslims or increasing the rewards, Allah, may He be exalted, said interpretation of meaning. Whatever a verse, revelation. Okay, so he's just doing it. Okay, this is what's going on, y'all. Every time people, these Muslims come up here, they do not explain the contradiction. All they do is explain the certain verses that are in question. He's not telling us anything of why the Quran says this in this area and then says this in another area. My guy, I don't care what you're putting right now because it has absolutely nothing to do with what is going on. So you talking about what abrogation is doesn't change the fact that the abrogation is here and it's not supposed to be, but then it's here and it's being changed. Nobody can, then some can. None Allah, none Jesus, none Aisha, none Muhammad, none everybody else. That's what we're talking about. I'm not here to hear about what abrogation is. You can have 15 different words for abrogation. The issue is here, yay. There, nay. Why? Shout out to Radar Apologetics, by the way. God bless you, brother. Uh, Showing up. My guy, always stepping in, showing love. I appreciate that, brother. If you're not following Radar Apologetics, go follow that brother. Man, his live streams are my favorite live streams. I try my best to get on any of those. A lot of spiritual meat being given there. This brother does an amazing job at teaching the scriptures. And yeah, shout out to him. Love, love that. If you are still in here, Rabbi Ed, I am still waiting. I need that information. But no, I appreciate you for even taking the time. So whenever you're able to, my brother, God bless you and thank you for all the stuff that you've even given me up until this point. So appreciate you. All right. So the issue is we got these contradictions. We've shown that Shabir Ali has 101 contradictions of the Bible. And then shout out to Dr. J. Smith. We were able to show how all those 101 have been discussed and talked about. So now the task is for you Muslims to discuss yours. We got a brother right now, Jahan, who's trying his best. But if there's any other Muslims that can help him out, that can make sense somewhere, somehow, of how no one can abrogate these verses, but then yet everybody and their mom can abrogate these verses, what's going on? And then once you answer that, you can probably help me out and help me figure out why in the world are you going to cast, or how can you cast a perfect verse for another perfect verse? Because if one verse is perfect, what's better than perfect? Allah knows. Again, that's when we get into 1A, 1B, 1C, perfect 1A, 1B, all that fun stuff. So that's what we got going on when it comes to that. So what I'm probably going to attempt to do, I'm going to try my best, is every so often come back on here. We got a whole bunch of contradictions to look at. Maybe I'll just stick to one. So last week it was the how in the world can the Quran be precise and not precise, while at the same time all the verses being perfected, explained, and fully detailed. That couldn't be answered. Right now, we had a few that we went over. We looked at. We even though we didn't get into all of them, we briefly looked at on the screen. There was over, I think it was like 116. Well, more than that because at the end there was 11 more. So 100 plus Quran contradictions. So we might just have to go head on and just go one by one every now and again. So I might stick on the burden ones next time. I might stick on the burden one next time just to because again, all these might be too much. All these might be too much for people to come on and try to look at and try to work through. So one at a time. I might just have to do one at a time moving forward. It is what it is. Denise, shout out to you, Denise. The facts sharing. Oh, well, I'm just trying to, Allah isn't God. I know that's right. I know that's right. Jesus, my Lord and Savior. Shout out to Denise in the chat. Amen. Amen. Okay, and then abrogation means why is he still talking about? Oh my gosh, why did I? Am I tripping? Did I not make it clear that don't nobody care about what's going on right here? Why you? I ain't block you. Oh, Latia, I ain't block you. I promise I did not block you. What's going on? Anybody block Latia? If anybody block Latia, take her off block. That's the homie. She be in the comments fighting like crazy with all these heretics. Yeah, I ain't block you, Denise or Latia. My bad. But never, man, girl. You know what I'm saying? You be in the chat all the time. I ain't about to block you. You be fighting. You be telling people that they dumb. Now that's funny to me. So I never do that. If anybody block Latia, unblock her. Shoot, she's like she's my favorite. Y'all all my favorites, but she's my favorite. So I know that's right. See, Carol B. I know Carol B didn't do it. I know Carol B. Well, whoever. Oh, dang, Justin. Look at Justin. He got an eye up there. I don't know. That's suspicious. It might have been Justin. Might have been Justin. By the way, shout out to brother Justin for showing up. Uh, so I can't get anybody to show up. Tried. This brother Jahan was in the comments. He ain't really helping out none. Uh, we pray that Muslims will be. I know that's right. We pray that Muslims will be safe from hell. Well, as right now, we still got breath. We're all still on this earth. We're still breathing. As long as they got breath, they have the opportunity as well. We got so many people out here that are sharing the truth, that are, spreading the gospel, spreading the word. So there's no excuses. But again, while we have breath, we still got to show the truth. We still got to display who God is, and so that these people can come to know who can actually save them and who's actually leading them straight to the pits of hell. Yo, real quick before I do get up out of here, I do want to shout out to I think Jesus is my Lord. Is her name? I had somebody who sent me a email, and it was their testimony and broke it down, and man, it was such a beautiful thing. This lady who was a ex-Muslim and what happened in her life, and it was just a beautiful thing to read, and hopefully we're in the works. I got to actually go look at my email so that we can get a day that she can actually come on and share. Apparently she was on Christian Prince's live not too long ago and shared her testimony, and so she said that she would like to come up and share a testimony on mine, so that's going to be coming up here soon. Again, I couldn't have any testimonies this week because I have to do them live. Well, I don't have to do them live, but it's just better to do them live to me. I just enjoy the questions also that people have in the comments when we do the live. So I wasn't able to because the weather did not permit, but the weather looks like it's going to be nice, you know, at least this week. So I'm going to try my best to get many people as I can on here. So it's a beautiful thing, and I just wanted to share that because it was a blessing. So with that, can't get no Muslims up here. It's unfortunate. So tomorrow I will be on here again, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Going to be on here as we are continuing our series with Alpha Deed and Anthony Rogers as they break down the Trinity in the Old Testament. Getting some good stuff in there. See, what I've also found out, much like Muslims, when it comes to these JWs and Unitarians, they'll see the videos, right? They'll watch the videos, and then they will come at completely different arguments and things that aren't being discussed in the videos because they can't refute what's being discussed in the videos. I can't tell you how many times that when the whether it was the short of Anthony Rogers talking about who God is in the Old Testament, or if it was the actual video itself that we watched last Sunday. I can't tell you how many times people would come at and start their own arguments as opposed to actually answering what's going on. And again, that's why I said shout out to Travis because Travis was on one of those comments just cooking folks because they were coming out with arguments that didn't have anything to do with the video. What they can never do is they can never answer to what's being said. All they can do is try to go at some other things. Go at some other things that don't really matter. So, with that being said, we've been here for about an hour and 40, hour, what, 38. So, if can't get no Muslims up here to talk about their abrogations and how in the world that none can abrogate the Quran, but then some can, hey, it is what it is. We'll try again. We'll try again and again. So Monday, I'll probably do another contradiction live. I'll probably do another contradiction live just because I like these. I like kind of just looking in and picking fun and picking at Islam. So I love waffles too. Waffles are good. Chicken and waffles, fire. Hey, real quick, let me know in the chat. Chicken and waffles with syrup or just hot sauce? What y'all doing? Are y'all mixing it in? So we got team syrup, we got team hot sauce, or team both. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Quran contradictions. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, Una. You said that earlier and I was not paying attention. Syrup, hot sauce? Okay, all right, all right. Allah is a demon? Well, yes, he is, but we're talking about waffles right now. I'm just playing. Uh Quran contradictions. Is that hold on, let me go look at the chat itself. So is that a video, Una, that you want me to look at? Oh, that's a chat. Okay, that's how you do that. But is the Quran contradictions a video that you want me to look at, Una, or is that just something that is like a something I should read? Because right now I'm just looking at the chat in StreamYard and I can't really click on anything or really see much of that. It's a tutorial on unblocking users. Oh no, I get that. I know that. I'm just talking about the oh, what's a joke name? Oh, oh, I thought that was like a video you wanted me to watch. So we got Winston with the syrup. Shout out to Winston. I know that's right. Hot sauce. Oh, Winston, when are you gonna come up and share your testimony too? I gotta hit you up on the testimony tip. Do 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 do. All right. So yeah, with that, church tonight, y'all. Going to church tonight. It's gonna be great. Oh, haha, gotcha. So can't wait for that. Should be awesome. Going to church tomorrow as well. So hopefully you guys all heading to church either tonight or tomorrow, however it is, getting your worship in with some like-minded believers. That's another thing. So another reason why I love Rabbi Ed so much is because he is big on having accountability with wherever you're at, where whatever church you go to, whatever denomination you are, you got to be around people that can hold you accountable. You have to have an authority around you that keeps you on the up and up. So shout out to him. Obviously, a lot of people share that, but Rabbi Ed is really big on that. So another reason why I enjoy that brother so very much because there's so much wisdom that comes from him. So tomorrow again, Trinity, Alpha Deed in the Old Testament. Anthony Rogers. Monday, probably some more Quran contradictions, and then more videos. More videos gonna be dropping. More reactions, so we can get some good information. Got some more Michael Heiser coming out. Sam Shamoon. We got some more Rob Christian on the way. David Wood. So we got a whole bunch of stuff coming out. So I appreciate you guys for pulling up. Appreciate you guys. God bless you guys. Appreciate all my mods, all the people that popped up. Cheryl, Justin, my guy, Rachel, Denise, Latia, Rabbi, uh, God is real, Vlad, even Jahan for trying your best to fight, but you really ain't helping none. Una, Carol B, hi, please just a few minutes. I just saw this live. Hold on. I will wait. Hold on. Oh, see, look, hold on. What's your name? How if you want me to wait, I'll wait. I'll say my goodbyes. But if somebody come up, you let me. I'm here. I'll wait. Cause usually I go by 2 hours anyway. I'll wait. Ain't nothing to wait. I'll wait about 5 minutes. I got water, hydration. So if you want, oh by the way, shout out to yeah Yahweh V4. I don't know what that means. Barry 4. Yeah, I don't know. But I'll wait. I'll wait for sure, for sure. If a Muslim brother wants to come up or just be here in general, I'll wait. So plus I suck at outros anyway. If anybody's been here knows my outros is trash. I don't never leave when I'm supposed to leave. I'll say my goodbyes. 20 minutes later, say another set of goodbyes. My name is Vesna. Oh, shout out to Vesna. Appreciate you showing up, being new. Haven't seen you before. God bless you. Just so you know, Vesna, I am a plug channel. So what I like to do is just plug in a bunch of stuff, a bunch of information that can teach people whatever it is that they need to learn about the truth. So I love to talk about Trinity, love to talk about um, history, all that stuff, all that stuff. You have the Midwest. I tell you, my goodbyes is just awful. If anybody like could teach a class on goodbyes, it ain't me. It ain't me. I'm a lingerer. I be, yo, what up? Hey, and then have a whole nother conversation. How's life treating you? Close out restaurants. The people in there be like, is y'all gonna get out? Like, nope, we still here. We still here. So, well, maybe while that person's coming up, we're just gonna bring this up real quick. We're gonna bring this up one more time. And so, for those that may have been joining now, we're talking real quick about some of these contradictions. We went over 100 plus contradictions. We looked at all of them. And now what we're doing is we're just going to be focusing on this one. I know that's right, Rachel. So we're going to be focusing on this one until it can be answered or someone can tell me how this makes sense. So the contradiction that we're looking up is the abrogation. So how in the world does the words of Allah that are perfect in truth and justice, there is none who can change his words. He both, or excuse, yeah, he both heareth and knoweth all. None can change his words. There is no changing the words of God. That is the mighty triumph. And recite what has been revealed to you. the book of your Lord. There is none who can alter his words, and you shall not find any refuge besides him. And then, so we got these verses right here, all these verses talking about how nothing can change about the unchanging perfect words and stuff like that. But then we get down here and we see that, and for whatever verse we abrogate and cast into oblivion, we bring a better of or the like of it. Knowest thou not that God is powerful over everything? And when he exchanged a verse in place for another verse, and God knows very well what he is sending down, they say, Thou art mere forger. Nay, but the most of them have knowledge. Surah 16108. So, for those that are just now joining or who haven't known, that's what we're talking about right now. Talking about how the Quran has all these contradictions, and we're just going over a few of them. And one of the ones that we're going over is the abrogation. Some verses, about four of them, state that none of the words can change. But then two verses state that they can change. Also, shout out again to my brother Chuck E. He was in chat a little bit later or earlier, excuse me, and he said that Sahih Muslim 629 even had Aisha changing verses. Aisha changing verses. Muhammad's changing verses. Again, if we can look at the rest of what's going on down here, we can see that everybody named mom. So, you know, uh, where's it at? Oh, I think it's down here. Do, 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 do. I wish I could highlight and just keep some of these highlighted. But anyway, without trying to pinpoint or find where exactly. Well, anyway, everybody and their mom is changing the Quran. Muhammad is changing the Quran. Jesus is abrogating verses of the Quran. Aisha is abrogating verses of the Quran. Everybody, everybody, but none can. Even if it was only Allah, even if it was only Allah, that's still one. Therefore, negates none. So we're trying to figure this out, y'all. We're trying to figure this out. How in the world? Una, I am on answeringmuslim.com. I am if you go to answeringmuslim.com and you just type in Quran contradictions, it gives 114 or 116 contradictions that it goes over in detail and breaks them all down. So that's where we're at, Una, Quran or answeringquran.com. There's a bunch of articles that break down these contradictions. And yeah, so just so those who are just showing up, uh man, so contradictions in the Quran talks about breaking it down, talks about everything that's going to be in there. And by the way, these I was even underselling this. If this is true right here, this is eternal or internal, excuse me, contradictions. So this is how many internal contradictions there are. 120, well, 132. 132. And we looked at so far today, who's the first Muslim? Is the Quran completely clear or not? Which we also talked about last week. We didn't really look at that one. I read that one before. And abrogation. Those are the ones that we looked at so far. Let's look at some of these other ones real quick. External errors. Oh man, and a whole list of other ones. A whole list of other ones. Holy smokes. So even more. All right. Oh wait, or did that just break down? Oh man. Y'all see all this. This is answeringislam.com. A lot of writings about contradictions in the Quran. And it's all here. Shout out to these people that work hard. If you guys didn't know, Sam Shamoon has a bunch of these articles written and a bunch of other brothers and sisters that are fighting for the truth and to expose Islam. All that right there. All that right there, y'all. So and then again, shout out to Una, because if y'all didn't know, Una sent me a whole bunch of good stuff not too long ago about everything that has to do with Islam and this nonsense. So these Muslims know we done cracked the code. I tell you what, yo, I just had somebody today in the comments, people in the comments still talking crazy. The one dude I was telling you guys about who said that Jesus said not to worship him when he brought up Revelation 22:9. For those of you who don't know, there's a brother who brought up Revelation 22:9 and said that that is Jesus saying to not worship him in any way. What he didn't do though is he didn't read Revelation 22:8, because in 22:8 it states that the angel is the one talking to him, and the angel is the one who says not to worship him. But Muslims, they comprehension what out the window, context. They don't believe in anything with no seed. What they should be believing in those that contradictions, because there's a whole bunch of them. But that's a whole nother thing. So, uh, but the same dude had another comment where he talked about how the Quran is still perfect, word for word, dot for dot, and I just lost my mind. Like, yo, you still believe this? He still believes this. That the Bible was put together hundreds and I think he said like 500 years after. Like, wow, these old, tired, washed arguments. It's crazy, 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 crazy. And then they got these verses right here that talk about abrogation, and they can't explain how in the world. I did see Jahan chat. Abrogation occurs by the will and wisdom of Allah, who knows what teaching. Okay, Jahan, Jahan, talk with your boy real quick. Listen to what I'm about to say. Abrogation, you say, occurs by the will and wisdom of Allah, who knows what teachings people need in the precise moment that they need it. So, okay, so let's go here. Let's go here and let's go look at it again, because for some odd reason you think that these abrogated verses just pop up when they need it, but yet they're eternal. They are eternal. So that's a whole nother side of abrogation that you're just forgetting, my guy, because for some odd reason you're negating the fact that there's the eternal aspect of these verses that are somehow cast into oblivion. What say ye to that? Why in the world is it all right for these verses that are eternal, that are already created, to be passed down from a God who spoke all these words before they were ever choked into Muhammad by Jibril, but yet he didn't know that, well, instead of just taking verses out, I should probably just have the verses that everybody needs at the time that they need them. But anyway, so okay. None can change the words of God. The words of the Lord are perfect in truth and justice. There is none who can change his words. He both heareth and knoweth, and recite what has been revealed to you of the book of your Lord. And there is none who can alter his words, unless you're Aisha. And you shall not find any refuge besides him. And when we exchange verses for another, and God knows very well what he is sending down, they say, thou art a mere forger. Nay, but the most of them have no knowledge. So the verses that are cast into oblivion, the verses that are abrogated and cast into oblivion, are the verses that can't be changed, that are perfect in truth and justice, perfectly explained, perfectly detailed, fully detailed, and recite what has been revealed to you of the book of your Lord. So all this gets cast into oblivion. All that right there, cast into oblivion, y'all. It's crazy. Justice for Aisha. I know that's right. Justice for Aisha. But with that being said, I am almost at 2 hours now. I think this is a good spot just to go ahead on and say my goodbyes. Like I said, about 20 minutes after I normally say my goodbyes. But again, shout out to King Tut, by the way, as well, for the super chat. God bless you, brother. Everybody else in the chat, God is real. Facts. Uh, oh, that's all right. If you want to, if you want to, just send him, or just send him the links to all my videos, because I do in my videos I have a bunch of reaction videos to a bunch of people that break down this Islam thing, and sometimes I share some funny stuff, sometimes I share some stuff that makes sense, and some other things. But oh my gosh, I try to get up out of here. I try to get up out of here, but alas, I cannot. I cannot, alas. Let's see. Actually, show Sahih Muslim 1050. Okay, I can do that. Sahih Muslim 1050. As I'm doing that, Jahan has showed up. What's up, Jahan? Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello?
What's up, Jahan? How you doing?
Hello?
You are on stage, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can.
You're talking about the verse of abrogation. The translation you are using is not the right translation. Let's get that first. The translation that you are using is not the correct translation. And let's go. Islam is a religion of submission. Submit. Do not ask
Mm-hmm.
why. You can answer some like why is that? Our the companion of the Prophet Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu said that Islam is not based on logic. Islam is based on submission. And you say, why are the verse abrogated? It's by the wisdom of Allah. There's the wisdom that it was easier at the time when the people didn't have the firm belief as we have now. When the first Islam came, it was the darkest period at the Arab Peninsula. It was there are people that are drinking alcohol, having sexual intercourse, they are gambling, they're burying their daughters. At that time they didn't have the firm faith as the later when the verse that was abrogated has. And those abrogated verses are in the Quran. It's not like they are out of the Quran, but the ruling change. It was that you can drink khamar, but it's bad, you should not. Then the ruling came, you can drink, but you should not pray in the state of intoxicants. Then the later it came that you should not drink alcohol, period. You should stop. I'm just quoting. It's not word to word translation. It's just I'm thinking top of my head. And those verses are abrogated because the prophet was there. The prophet was not as now not there. It's not with us now, so the verse cannot be abrogated anymore. I know said the Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha and our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam abrogated verse. No, the abrogation can only come from Allah. No one can abrogate a verse. I don't remember that, but there's something in the Quran that if you change the verse, will like warning the Prophet, like no one can change the verse except Allah. And him changing the verse is from his wisdom. And he thought it was easier for the Muslim at that time, or it will be easier for us that he will change the verse. And I told you in the beginning, the Islam is a religion of submission. We don't ask logical question like why is that, why is this. We believe there's a God. If you believe there's a God, one God, and worship him, and you have enough evidence to establish that he is God, then there's no need to ask like why is that, why is that, why is that, because you already established that he is God. You have the proof, have the miracles, he has sent prophet to us. Do you have anything else to ask?
Yeah. So first, I appreciate you showing up and sharing your thoughts on your faith. God bless you for that. Second, so wait, you said that Islam is not a logical religion. I'm
Islam
asking you.
is a religion of submission. There is
No.
logic, but logic comes after submission. Logic comes after submission.
So okay, so logic is based
Hello?
on submission and
Like you are like
Islam. Okay, so real quick, are you able to see the screen, or are you just not even look at the screen? Because if not, that's fine. I'll just read what I need to read. Actually, I'll put it up for everybody else
but
anyway.
it's lagging. It's my problem.
Am I lagging for you? Am I lagging for everybody in the chat? That's funny, Winston. All right, so I'm gonna bring up something real quick. Uh, Shout out to my guy Winston for this. Where's that? So we're gonna read real quick Sahih Muslim 1050. Sahih Muslim 1050. It's hopefully everybody can see in the chat. Okay, cool. I'm okay. Not lagging. All right, bet. Cool. All right. So Sahih Muslim 1050. You are the best among the inhabitants of Barza or Braza, Brazra, whatever. I don't know. Who cares? For you are the reciters among them. So continue to recite it. But bear in mind that your reciting for a long time may not harden your hearts, as were hardened the hearts of those before you. We used to recite a surah which resembled in length and severity to Surah Barat. I have, however, forgotten it, with exception of this, which I remember out of it. If I, or if there were two valleys full of riches for the son of Adam, he would long for a third valley, and nothing would fill the stomach of the son of Adam but dust. And we used to recite a surah which resembled one of the surahs of uh, Musa Shmbat, and I have forgotten it. But remember this much out of it. O people who believe, why do you say that which you do not practice? And that is recorded in your necks as a witness against you, and you would be asked about it in the day of resurrection. So, um, if only Allah is abrogating stuff and taking stuff out of the Quran, what's up with this?
It's not taking. Stop. You are using the wrong word. That abrogation, the verse is still there. It's only the ruling that change. It's not the verse was out of the Quran. The verse is there. It's the
Well, no,
ruling
this
that changed.
this particular hadith is talking about what's being forgotten, and that there's actual verses, multiple verses, being forgotten.
Forgotten by who people? It, I didn't get the question. What's the question?
So if only Allah abrogates stuff, and Allah's the one who takes things out, and the Quran can't be changed, how is there verses that are forgotten and changed?
Like people can forget. Like, do you think we are superhumans? People can forget.
Okay, so if people can then forget, then how do we know what's the Quran and what's not?
It's written. It's memorized. Like not all of them forget, but some. Like you remember what you did like last year? Can you tell me, like this time, what you are doing last year? Cannot.
Was-
It's
So
not
here's
possible.
the issue then: if the Quran was initially recited and it was
Yes.
spoken to by folks and people, and
Hmm?
that none can change it, but yet
Yes.
there are whole verses that are left out of the Quran. How does that make sense if only Allah is abrogating them?
Left out.
I'm
Like
not
what do you
talking
mean?
about I'm not talking about people forgetting. I'm talking about whole verses being left out of the Quran.
Where?
Do you know where the verse of
Inside the
stoning
surah,
is?
resembling on the surah, I have forgotten it, but remember much of it.
On top of this one as well. But
Yeah. Yes. The
oh,
verse of stoning. So,
oh, where's that at? The one that was eaten by a sheep?
Subhanallah. Like your arguments are so backwards. It's already been refuted. Like if you go to YouTube and search the
Mhm.
sheep eating, like Quran eating the sheep eating the page of the Quran, like you will find people that refuted you like so many years ago. Like, it's not even new. Like, so what? Like if even if your sheep
Sweet.
eats it,
So I
so what? Like even
so
if I said like we do not memorize. Quran is a memorize verbal, memorize from one person to another.
mhm.
And the written is not like that was the only Quran that was written. There are other people who may read it. I think that story might be not even true. Like I don't remember it, but you can go to YouTube and search. Like I think I'm sure you'll find someone who has refuted you in this, that sheep eating the page of the Quran. Like if you
So
just go,
So what you're saying is there is only Allah abrogates things, only Allah changes things, and those things are still in the Quran. And when it comes to the Quran is a book of perfect verses and all this other stuff. But yet somehow there's things that are left out. Yet there are some things that are forgotten, and yet no one
but
can
it's just
change these verses.
was
But
forgotten
yet
by the people.
there's
People can forget. We have finite,
my
limited
guy,
things.
my
May
guy.
forget.
I when I allowed you to speak, I did not interrupt you one time. So I would
ঠিক
appreciate
আছে,
it.
it's
Appreciate it.
sorry.
That would be the same. So, with that being the case, if these words that are not to be changed or anything when it comes to abrogation, and yet not only are verses being abrogated, things are being changed, things are being forgotten, things are being eaten, and not put it where they're supposed to be, how in the world does this make sense to you? When you even yourself said that this is all from Allah and whatnot, and only Allah can do these things, but yet everybody else and their mom's doing these things. But that's a whole couple of things. But my guy, Winston's showing up though. Winston, what's up? You're on the stage. I just seen you
Hey
post.
Albert, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm cool. I'm cool. I just want to ask Jahan. He's speaking now about people forgetting and all that, but that's not what the Ummah says. Everywhere we meet Muslims, they always brag about perfectly memorized verses. How if you can ban all the Qurans and bring a blank mushaf, they'll be able to reproduce the Quran exactly as it is. So why is it now making an excuse for the inhabitants of Basra? It's clear here that they say they didn't forget a verse or two verses. They forgot two whole chapters. Like Surah Barat, it's something like 70 something verses. So all 70 something verses are gone. And Musabi had as well, it's also more than 64 verses. So you cannot say that people are fallible now when you see that you don't have evidence or you don't have something to back you. So, how do you explain the fact that if Allah's word is preserved, if Allah's word is supposed to be preserved, if there is no abrogation, how did these two whole chapters, disappear from the Quran? You can't show me that verse in the Quran today, which speaks about the son of Adam and the valley of two valleys full of riches. How do you explain that?
Do you want me to speak?
Yes, you can talk.
The first thing that you mentioned, the people writing the mushaf. Like, do you think everyone is the same? Like, there's no one who has a stronger brain, has a weaker brain. Do you think everyone is?
You
No,
went
I
out.
know people are not equal, but as per the claim, so what it means is if the Qurans are banned, they are going to get the best people that they know have got the best memories to recover everything that is in the Quran. Isn't that what they mean? Did you go?
If you're speaking, Jahan, we can't hear you. Can you?
Hello,
Oh, there you go.
Yes, yes,
listening?
yes. I'm saying that claim that the Quran can be reproduced is based on people with good memories. It's not to say that we just take any Tom, Dick, and Harry from the street and say, hey, write the whole
Not
Quran. We are
Harry
talking
memorized
about people of knowledge. Yes.
the
People of
Quran.
knowledge who memorizes the Quran.
Yes. Hmm?
Can I make an example of someone? Dr.
Yes.
Zakir Naik.
Yes.
According to a majority of Muslims, he's the leading scholar of the modern day. So if we are to give Dr. Zakir Naik a blank mushaf, will he be able to reproduce the whole Quran?
First and foremost, he's not the leading scholar. Sorry to say you, like he is
Who
not
is?
the leading.
Who is the leading scholar?
If you are asking who's the leading scholar, I will say Sheikh Salah Fawzan.
Okay. Can he reproduce the whole Quran if we give him a blank mushaf? Hello?
Yeah, you're quiet again, my guy. She's probably looking some stuff up. Hmm. Man, he was talking real fast and a lot earlier. Now he's just very quiet. This is
Uh,
awkward. I
It's
know.
one of
Isn't
those
it late for you,
technological.
brother Winston?
Yeah.
Hello, are
Appreciate
you not
you showing
listening?
up.
Like,
Oh, there you are.
Wow. Yeah, we
hello.
didn't hear a word you just said. Now we hear you. But if you were talking before, nothing was coming out.
Like you hear about that Dr. Zakir Naik is not the leading scholar.
Yes, you already said that.
He's a dai. He's a caller to Islam, and he has done good. No doubt, he has done good for the Ummah. We hope and pray for him, but he is not the leading scholar, and he did
Mm.
not memorize the Quran. If you want me to bring to you someone who can write the Quran from letter to letter, I'll bring you someone. I can name you 2%, like 2% I can give you that can write the Quran from word to word, letter to letter. You will not find a single error.
Right. So now, why couldn't the same happen with the inhabitants of Basra? Why couldn't they find somebody who was able to recite the whole Quran as it was? Why is it that they were missing 2 whole chapters
Like
at
if you
that
give
time?
me, I'll look into the hadith. Like if you give me few minutes, I'll look into the hadith. Is Sahih or what?
It's on the screen.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's on the
Hello?
screen.
Nah, I'm look. You are giving me the reference. I will look if it's Sahih. It doesn't say it's Sahih or what.
It's
Sa-
Sahih
The,
Muslim.
the title of the book is Sahih Muslim.
But doesn't that have to mean everything in the book is Sahih Muslim? If you don't
Uh,
know, like
is
grading,
Can
I
I
don't see
ask you a
where's
question? Can I
yes.
ask you a question? Is Abu
Okay.
Hab a reliable what you call, is he a reliable source?
Who?
Abu Hab and Abu al Aswad, are they reliable?
I don't know. Of course, he's a Sahaba, I think. I don't know him. Like, if he's a Sahaba, the report of the Holy Father that came. Then there were 300 in numbers. They recite the Quran. He said he is the best. Like, if you give me few minutes. Hello?
We hear you.
Okay. Like, if you give me few minutes, I'll look into the hadith. My phone is like so late at night. Just 1 minute.
So for everybody watching, I mean, go ahead, take your time. But for everybody watching,
Like,
Miss,
nah,
Miss,
do you get the
oh,
abrogation thing? Like, do you
one
think
second,
that
one
doubt
second,
was answered?
one
Hello?
second, my guy, 1 second. You said you was going to be looking into that, so we're going to give you time to look into that real quick. So go ahead
I'm
on.
asking you about the thing that you asked
Cool,
about the abrogation. Is
cool,
that clear?
cool.
Or
Give me
there's
1 second
question
though.
about
It's all right. Give me 1 second. As you know, go ahead, look on that. But for those who are just now joining, or those who've been here, shout out to Winston. He's coming up and talking with this fella, as well as myself about some of the Sahih Muslim, and talking about how in the world that some of these verses are just gone out of nowhere. Um, whole chapters, whole chapters being gone, and apparently that this Quran that's supposed to have these perfected and unchanging words, but yet things are things are missing, things are changed, things are not there. I guess they were cast into oblivion, but that's a whole nother thing. All right, what were you talking about?
like, how many times like did I told you that translation is not the correct translation? Like if you like you should be sincere. Like I hope you are looking for the right religion, not for just YouTube fame. Like you should be sincere.
What
That's
translation
not
is the right translation?
like you should go to Sai International or Dr. Muhsin Khan. Those are the reliable translation.
Okay, Sahih International. Sweet. So I'll go look at that while you break down this hadith that Brother Winston brought you.
I'm doing it. The Hadith of Badana. Just give me a few minutes.
All right, Surah 634. Let's look at it. Sahih International, Surah 634. While he's
Like,
looking that up.
look at the tafsir of Ibn Kasir. If you want to be sincere, or if you have any question, like you can go to Islam Q&A. Hello.
Oh, I hear
Jahan,
you, but we're waiting for the breakdown of the hadith.
Bro,
Jahan,
like I didn't prepare anything. Like I just came. Like I didn't have. My
I
phone
mean, the
is 11%
hadith's
charge.
right
I'm
there.
charging.
Sahih
Jahan.
Muslim.
Hello, I'm there.
Yes. Remember I asked you about the fatwa on breastfeeding as per the fiqh. That I was in a way hinting for you to go to Islam Q&A so that at
Hmm.
least you can try and get responses from Islam Q&A, because whatever you were posting in the chat didn't make sense. So I was trying to lead you in a way either to go and
Give
read Islam Q&A or to go and read tafsir. I also quoted tafsir for you for Surah 2106. I
What?
think it was. I quoted Surah tafsir from Ibn Kathir for Surah 2 verse 106 where he was explaining what abrogation means.
Hmm.
So I think you should really make time and go and read the tafsir and go to the fatwa and find out what they say about these things.
What did you say? You educated me. Like you tell me.
Okay, right. Let's go to. I've opened. Unfortunately, I cannot share. I don't know how to share. I've opened tafsir Ibn Kathir for chapter 2, verse 106.
All right, I'll actually see if I can get mine up here for you guys. Wait, well, actually, if you, let me see. Actually, I can't. I don't know how you could
Let
share
me see
yours,
if
but
I
I'll just
can.
share mine.
Let me just see if I can copy and paste it in the chat.
Oh, I have it pulled up. I have it pulled up. I just got to get there and which one is one? Two. Okay, I think this is one. Yep. Is this what you were looking for? Can you see this?
Yes,
All right.
that's the one.
Can you tell me what was the number of the hadith?
It's not a hadith, it's a tafsir.
It's not like I'm asking about the hadith of the previous one.
Sahih Muslim
Oh,
1050.
It's 120 or something like that.
1050.
105. 105. 150. Huh?
Well, while he's looking up that, well, let's go ahead on and read the meaning of uh, that word by Ibn. Wait, where's this from? Ibn Kathir abridged. So Ibn that word. I have a hard time trying to pronounce these words, so I do apologize for those Arabic speakers that actually know these words because I have no clue. Whatever
Abitalha.
verse, yeah, just like that. Brother Winston got it. Whatever verse Revelation do means whatever an ayah we abrogate also. Uh, whatever verse. Okay, this is we keep the words but change the meaning. We related these words to companions of Abdullah bin Masud ibn man words.
So you see how many people are saying it gets erased.
Mm, mm. Yeah, there's a lot of folks. It's erased, thrown out, cast into oblivion.
Repeal.
Hmm.
Cause
So it
to be forgotten.
seems like the Tafsir is not helping this fella out either. Sheesh. What is this part? Nash occurs even though the Jews deny it.
Yeah, here that's where he's diverting now to the Jews to say that Jews did not accept the abrogations that were brought by Muhammad.
Mm.
So Muhammad wanted to abrogate the rulings of the Torah to suit himself.
Oh yeah, that's
And
probably where the adultery comes
there's
in
there's
and
a
everything
ayah
like
in the
that. Huh?
Quran. There's a ayah in the Quran that says the Prophet did not say anything from his own desires, whims and desires. Whatever he says from Allah. So whenever Prophet gives a ruling, it's from Allah. It's not that he's speaking. It's not that he wants to abrogate the verses of the Torah. It's already been abrogated. Whatever he says from Allah. Go ahead.
We can beg to differ on that.
How so?
Right.
Let me just make an example for you. Do you know the verse of the veiling?
Veiling? What veiling?
For the hijab, the verse
Yes,
that instructs women to wear hijab.
yes, yes.
Where did it come from?
From Allah? Like, what do you mean? Do you want to say it's that Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, said then Allah revealed it?
That's exactly what it was.
Brother, like, sorry, you're not my brother. Like, I'm saying to you, Allah has created the human being in fitra, in natural disposition. Do you get that? Do you know? We teach that
What?
everyone on natural disposition. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening.
So when Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu said that is the mother of the, I don't remember the hadith exactly, but he suggested that there should be veil, right? I don't remember the hadith exactly.
Sahih Bukhari 146.
That is Sahih, I know, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, why? What does that, like, what do you want to say?
I want to say that Umar came twice to Muhammad asking him to let his wives be veiled, and
So
Muhammad didn't do so. So now only after Umar said that he saw Sauda easing herself, only then does the revelation come of the ayah of the hijab. So
so
why
like
didn't it come the first time when, or why didn't it come before Umar complained about this issue?
he didn't
If
complain.
Allah is in, he came to complain.
Okay,
He used to say
so
to
like,
the Prophet, "Let your wives be veiled," but the Allah's apostle didn't do so. So
like then
how come Allah did not reveal it to Muhammad when Umar came to him the first time?
Allah knows best why he didn't do it. It's his wisdom.
You see now that response, Allah knows best. I don't know. To me, it's a
Like,
way of
what
saying it's just.
what do you think? I know everything.
I'm not accusing you of knowing everything. I'm accusing Islam.
Excuse me, but no one knows everything. You will not find a single person on the face of that knows everything.
Oh,
If you can,
nobody said that. We are
and
not
how do
saying
you
we are not saying
say
somebody knows everything. But here, remember, we are dealing with a prophet of God. We are not just dealing with any ordinary person. We are dealing with
yes,
somebody who is a prophet of God, who is supposed to be in direct communication with God. But here we see that he was not in direct communication with God. Umar had to come to him in order for the verse to be revealed. So what would have happened if Umar didn't complain?
like let me look at the tafsir of it. Then I will say to you. There's an answer for it. Like, don't think like you got some gem.
Like I said, take time to read the fatwas. Take time to read Islam Q&A. They address these issues there, and they give the same answer you gave me now. Allahu alam.
One of our imam, I don't know him. Imam, I think one of our imam said the half of the knowledge is to say I don't know. Like if you don't know, say Allahu alam, that you have half of the knowledge.
Half of the knowledge, but now remember we are dealing with a prophet of Allah. If a prophet of Allah, if you came with an issue to the prophet of Allah, the prophet said to you, Allah knows best, would you accept that answer concerning a very important matter?
Like, can you give me an example where he said Allah knows best? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
No, I'm asking you, will you accept it if he says that?
Of course, if he said, why wouldn't I accept? He is the prophet of Allah. Like you already said, he is the prophet of Allah.
Something that he is supposed to know from Allah, and he says he doesn't know it. Will you accept that?
That is called lying. Do you understand? That is called lying. If he knows and he says, I don't know.
Lying. Okay, because now look here at the matter between him and Umar. Umar came with a matter that is very important, covering for his wives to be veiled so that people do not see them when they go answer the call of nature. That is something very important. But Allah's apostle the first time didn't do so. Why didn't he do so the first time? Wasn't it that important?
What is important is not like, let me dance. Come on, man. So late at night. What time is it? There's like 2:30 a.m. It's here. Phone.
It's fine. We can continue some other time if you have to go.
No need. I can continue. Like I'm just saying, my phone are not charged. So first off, spelling BALIN spelling.
Are you reading what, Bukhari?
Understand? Like I'm not reading Bukhari. I'm looking. I found it.
Because there's a very important part there at Sahih Bukhari that I wanted you to think about.
Okay, tell me.
There it says, Umar addressed her and said, I have recognized you, O Sauda. He said so, as he desired eagerly that the verses of Al-Hijab may be revealed. So whose desire was it that those verses be revealed? Was it Allah's desire or was it Umar's desire?
Like, where's the problem in that?
The problem is who desired the verses to be revealed.
Okay, even if Umar desired, but
it
he doesn't have
Muhammad's
any
desire.
for Allah. Like, so I desire to be in Jannah. Like any Muslim that desire to be in Allah, but do I have the power to take me in Jannah? I don't have the power. Its power is with Allah. Like even if he desired, so what?
But do you have the desire to change Allah's mind and make him do something that he doesn't want?
Like, and he accomplished in that. Like, do you understand how weak that argument is? If Allah didn't want, even he wouldn't have done it. The verse of wailing.
Clearly, he didn't want to because Umar came the first time, nothing happened.
The definition
but
of God
only happened after he desired that the verse be revealed.
And it's not the only time that Allah agreed with Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. It's like there's another time Allah agreed.
There are three instances, I know. I know there are three matters in which Allah and Umar agreed upon. But the issue now is that Umar is the one who is desiring before Allah. So he is now leading Allah. It's like he's the one who's controlling Allah. Do you get that?
Then Umar is God.
Thank you very much.
What?
No, thank you. You said it. I didn't say
Like,
it.
I think you are trying to say that Umar is God. I didn't mean Umar is God.
You said it. I didn't.
Man,
I'm
that was
saying that you said,
that's tough.
like you are trying to say that Umar is God. Like,
No, I'm just saying that this
no,
this
the
is
one
this
who has
relates.
power over God. Listen. The one who has power over God. You are trying to say that Umar has power, radiallahu ta'ala anhu has power of over Allah Jalla Jalaluhu.
No. Don't be upset.
No, no.
Look at it. Look at the
Listen,
way the
listen.
events unfolded.
No,
Look at the
listen.
way.
Listening?
Continue. Yes, I'm listening.
You have brought forth like the verses of abrogation or this, it's already been answered. It's not something like new. Islam came 1400 years ago. You will not be the first one to bring this doubt, and inshallah, you will not be the last who have brought the doubt in the table. Our scholars have already answered the doubt. Like I'm just trying to find the answer. Like
Right.
my
So
phone is
okay.
bugging.
All right. But now you understand what the nansakh means according to Surah 2 verse 106. It means to abrogate, to erase. It means that the verse is supposed to be erased. It's not supposed to be there. Do you understand that? In the Arabic, nansakh.
Where does it told? Whenever we raise, where does it
If
told that?
Surah 2 verse 106.
No, the tafsir. Like, what are you talking about?
The same tafsir, Ibn Kathir.
Hmm.
It says, whatever verse or revelation we do nansakh, it means whatever ayah we abrogate.
We keep. Like, is that like? Are you reading the one at the? I think.
The very first one.
Okay. Hmm. Where
The
does it
very
say? I get it.
you can you see it?
Yes.
Yes. Ibn Abi Talha said that Ibn Abbas said that whatever a verse or revelation do nansakh means whatever ayah we abrogate. Also Ibn Jirai said, and that Mujahid also said that whatever verse we do nansakh means that the ayah we erase. So to abrogate means to erase. So it is going away. It's coming completely off the Quran. And then after it has come off the Quran, Allah replaces it with another one. And then after he replaces it with another one, he causes the whole mankind to forget that which he did.
Which whole mankind to forget and you remember. Where does
Yes,
it say?
because now if
Where does it say whole mankind to forget? Like,
it has to be the whole mankind, because if some people remember the verse and then they ask the people about that verse, what are they going to say? They're
where
going
does
to
it
say
say?
they're fabricating it,
I
right?
don't
No, just
like.
use your logic.
I
Use your
told
logic.
you. And
Use your
it's not
logic.
like complicated and bring something that is better or easier for the Muslim.
Yes, but what happens to the old one?
It is in the Quran.
So it's in the Quran and it's also not in the Quran because it's been made to,
The
they
ruling
have
is
been
not
made to forget it.
the ruling is not there.
What?
The ruling.
No, it's not about the ruling. It's about a verse. It's
Hmm.
about an ayah. It's not about the
Yes.
rule. So if an ayah is being abrogated or erased, where does it go?
It's in the Quran. Like, what does it? What do you mean?
So you erase it, but it's there. It's erased, but it's there.
Whatever verse Ronaksa means also erase the ruling. I think.
No, it doesn't talk about a ruling. It talks about an ayah.
Okay. Abrogate. Yes.
Yes, whatever verse we abrogate, so that the verse is gone. The ayah is
Just
gone.
look at the next lines. We keep the word but change the meaning.
You
We
keep the
kept
word
the
but
word
change the meaning.
but meaning. Whenever verse Lunaksa means we erase it further, even I said that means erasing or raising it, such as erasing the fort from the Quran. If the married adulterer and married adulteress stoned them to death, and if the son of Adam has value of gold, he will seek the third. You are
Yes.
asking about this.
Where those verses are not there because they've been erased. Is not what
Hmm.
it means.
Yes.
So it exactly agrees with Sahih Muslim 1050
Hmm.
that the whole chapter has been erased.
It's not the whole chapter, I think.
That's
It's a
what it
verse.
said.
One of the verses, if the son of Adam has two gold, he will seek the third. And
No,
there's
this
explained.
is the son of Adam had two valleys is the only verse that he remembers out of the whole chapter. Everything was erased. He only remembers this part.
Remembers this part, huh? Let's look into it.
God bless you, Winston. My gosh, this is awesome.
The following, and such as erasing the following wordings. Not talking about the wordings.
Yes, the wordings. So those wordings are not in the Quran. They've been erased.
They're talking out wordings. Like if it was the whole surah, so the whole surah was abrogated.
Sahih Muslim 1050.
Even the Sahih Muslim. Okay, let's go back. Where is the question? কই গেল? Come on, মাত্র খুঁজে পেলাম। Sahih Muslim. Muslim. 1050 na?
Yes.
I'll put it on the screen so y'all can see it. I wish I could put both on the screen at the same time. Actually, I might be able to. Let me try.
Because if we like to lengthen it and sweetness. If you like to lengthen it and
More to use in the arsenal. Thank you, Winston. Fantastic breakdown, brother.
Praise Jesus, brother.
Amen. Amen. By the way, while he's reading this, let's not forget people in the chat if you are just tuning in or haven't caught it in the readings from earlier. You know, this brother Jahan read something that could only lead to someone else being Allah, and he acknowledged it. Though he's stating that he's not saying that, but the reading definitely led to that understanding. But
the reading did not lead to that understanding, but what he was saying that he added to the text that Omar has power over Allah. That's why I said he was saying that if someone has power over all, there is God. That's not I am saying. And Umar radiallahu wished, and Allah accepted. And the reason you wanted for the hijab, right? I'll give you the answer.
Oh no,
Uh,
you guys are cool. I was just addressing the chat. You know, stay where you guys are working at. Don't worry about me. Don't make no never mind over here. I'm just addressing the chat. Salam Mama C Mutas.
Where is it?
You haven't found Sahih Muslim yet.
He's looking for 1050, right?
Yeah, it's here on the screen. But yeah, let's read. It says, we used to recite a surah which resembled in length and severity to Surah Barat. I have, however, forgotten it, with the exception of this which I remember out of it. If there were two valleys full of riches for the son of Adam, he would long for a third valley, and nothing would fill the stomach of the son of Adam but dust. So he used to recite a full surah. He forgot the whole surah and remembers only this line out of it, only this verse out of it. And then he also forgot another one, and he only remembers out of it, "O people who believe, why do you say that which you do not practice? And that it is recorded in your necks as a witness against you, and you will be asked about it on the day of resurrection." So out of two surahs, he only remembers two verses.
Those.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's the same as you knew Surah Al-Fatiha. You know Surah Al-Fatiha, right?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yes.
You forget the whole surah, but the only thing you remember is in the name of Allah most merciful. That's the only thing you remember. You have forgotten the whole chapter.
That was abrogated.
That's what happened here.
Or that year was abrogated.
No, he forgot it.
Why
So
did he
now,
forgot?
because he's human.
Because it was my fault. And I'm looking, it was abrogated. That's why he forgot.
Because it's your fault, but now your fault has made it that Surah Al-Fatiha doesn't appear in the Quran altogether.
Who told
Do you
you?
understand the severity of that?
Who told you that? Like,
You are not reading Sahih Muslim, are you?
it was perhaps the reason of the different. It was no longer, when it was abrogated, it was no longer in the Quran. It was no longer.
It was in the Quran. These two chapters were in the Quran.
Yes, it was abrogated.
They were abrogated. They were caused to be forgotten.
It was not in the Quran anymore. That's why they didn't remember it.
They were in the Quran, but you cannot find them today, can you?
But does it say it was caused to be forgotten?
That's what he said so himself.
I have forgotten. I have forgotten. It didn't say I was caused to be forgotten.
He says, I have, however, forgotten it.
Said it was caused to be forgotten, like you are putting your words in the hadith.
He has forgotten it.
I have forgotten it. He's saying he has forgotten it.
That's what I'm saying. You are the one who's saying caused to be forgotten.
I didn't. Did I say?
I said he has forgotten it because he is
You said
human.
it was supposed to be forgotten. Like, to just go few seconds back, you said it was supposed to be forgotten or
That is
something.
what the chapter the verse says. 2:106. It says they are caused to be forgotten, but here he says that he has forgotten it. But his forgetfulness has made it that it doesn't appear in the Quran.
Forgotten? Like, why does it say it was supposed to be forgotten? We saw it as surah there in the have
Brother, can you pay attention?
the
Can you
value
pay
of the
attention? Can you pay
sun.
attention, please?
Yes, but why does it
The
say like
verse, the verse, the verse says
when it was
it will be
forgotten?
caused to be forgotten.
Which verse?
He, Surah 2, verse 106.
Okay.
And then Abu Hab says that he forgot it. He forgot 2 chapters. Whether he forgot it himself or whether it was caused to be forgotten, it doesn't say that. What
Mm-hmm.
it says is that he forgot the 2 chapters. And
Because
we
it
don't find them in the Quran today.
the rule. Memorizing. These are
Guys, can I read it in the
Arabic, yes, please.
Arabic? Okay, no problem. No. Wait.
Oh, you want to
Sorry.
read? Oh,
Yeah.
my fault. By the way, shout out to you, Mutas. Appreciate you for showing up. God bless you, brother.
Thank you. It says here وكنا نقرأ سورة كنا نشبهها بإحدى المسبحات فأنسيتها غير إني حفظت منها يا أيها الذين آمنوا لما تقولون ما لا تفعلون فتكتب شهادة في أعناقكم فتسألون عنها يوم القيامة فأنسيتها. This is the word in Arabic. It says فأنسيتها, which means they or I have forgotten it. فأنسيتها. Do you understand Arabic?
No, I don't know Arabic.
Okay, so why are you shifting left and right? It's clearly said
What?
in the Arabic and the English that he have forgotten it. Are they lying to you, or are you have
No, no. I thought you are talking about the hadith in the screen. Right? So I have forgotten it. But you are talking about the verse in the Quran.
yeah, the verses in the Quran
But I thought you
have
are
been
talking about the hadith in the screen. Like,
they have forgotten it. Do you understand that those verses they have forgotten it? So
yes,
that's why
so
in your Quran you don't have those verses anymore.
because it was abrogated.
By who?
By Allah? By who? What?
Does it
Like,
say
So
Allah
basically,
abrogated
okay,
it in
wait,
the hadith?
Winston,
Oh,
hold on a sec. So basically, your God can actually cancel any verse that he wants, or is it Muhammad the one that
Allah
actually
ala
can
kulli
cancel
shay'in qadir.
any
Allah
verse?
ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah is able to do all
Hmm.
things. Like,
Hmm.
what?
Okay, but why does it says in the Quran that obey Muhammad as if you are obeying Allah? Does that mean that Muhammad
Because
and Allah is equal?
okay, let me tell you. I tell you a
Mm-hmm.
verse in the Quran. I don't exactly remember the verse. Like, it's my fault. I should have memorized it. But it says the messenger of Allah do not speak from his own whims and desires. There's a verse.
Mm.
I can look into it.
Oh, okay. So basically, Muhammad, he didn't exalt himself as
He did, he is not
equal
speak from his own
to Allah.
desires. That's why he
So
says
so
that
basically, wait. Are you saying that he didn't committed shirk?
what do you mean by that?
Shirk. Do you know what is
Yeah,
shirk?
shirk. Where? Where did he commit
Do
shirk?
you know what is shirk or not?
Of course, I know.
Okay. Albert, could you please share my screen? So I want you to read a hadith because I can't read it because I'm illiterate like Prophet Muhammad. Can you read it? Hmm?
You are setting up rivals to Allah, and it doesn't show the whole thing. It just show a double S O. If you can zoom out,
What? Excuse me?
it doesn't show the whole hadith. It
Turn,
just shows
turn
up.
your phone, turn your phone sideways, then you can see the whole thing.
Okay. It's good now.
Can you read it in the Arabic or
Yeah,
English?
English. I don't know Arabic.
Okay, yalla. Read it from here. From here, huh? Mhm.
You are setting up rivals to Allah, associating
No,
others
no, no,
with
no, no,
one
no,
of
no,
the.
no, 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 no. Here.
It was narrated by Abdullah ibn Yasir from Kutailal, a woman from
Juhaina.
Jerusalem, that a Jew came to Prophet and said, "You are setting up rivals to Allah, associating other with him. And you say, whatever Allah, and you will. And you say, by Kaaba, so Prophet commanding him, if they want to swear by other, swear what to say, by the Lord of Kaaba, and to say, whatever Allah wills and you wills." Hmm?
So basically, yes, so basically, the Jewish man came to the Prophet and told him that you are associating others.
Hmm.
So basically, this and it says Sahih, by the way, which means authentic. So basically, your Prophet, according to your sources, your Prophet actually committed shirk. Do you agree?
How? How?
How? Simple. A Jew came to the
Hmm.
Prophet.
If you are saying,
You
whatever Allah
no,
wills and whatever He wills.
read it again because because your English is like my English. Read it again.
You are setting up rivals to Allah and
Who
associating
who?
other
Okay, now hold on, stop. Now, who is that person that is talking to the Prophet?
Jew,
He is telling who to the
Prophet of
Prophet,
Allah.
right?
Hmm?
Yeah. You are setting up rivals to Allah and associating others. What does this word mean? Yalla.
Associate other with him.
Okay, so basically that means that your prophet actually committed shirk. Do you agree? Because this hadith is
Like,
sahih.
so, like it's a Jewish man that came and said, like I don't take my religion from a Jew.
So, are you serious? This is a hadith from your sources, and it says
Yes,
sahih. Are you a
yes.
donkey, or are you a cow? Because I can't tell the difference. To be honest with you, at
Like,
this point,
what are you trying to say? Like
I'm
you are
trying to
saying that
say that
Prophet of Allah
I'm
associate
trying to
partners
say
with
that
Allah.
your prophet is a liar.
How?
He is the first one who committed shirk
How? Like, tell me, to who did he associate Allah?
with the Kaaba.
That he swear by the Lord of the Kaaba.
Yeah. And a Jewish came to him and said that you are associating others with him, which means
Hmm?
Allah. Do you
Huh?
understand?
Yes, that he didn't understand that we are not worshipping Allah.
Wait.
We are worship-
Do you understand? Do you understand what it actually says?
It says the Prophet, that Jewish man thought that Prophet associate the Kaaba with Allah in
Okay.
partnership.
Do you accept this hadith? Because it seems like you are jumping around like a monkey. Do you accept this hadith or not?
Like, I think you have some problem. Like, let me explain why. A Jewish man came
No,
and said
no,
to
no,
the
no, 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 no,
Prophet,
no. You're not answering my question.
I
Do
accept
you
the hadith.
accept this?
Yes,
Do you accept this hadith or not?
yes,
Just say yes or no. Yes.
yes, yes, I accept the hadith.
Okay. There you go. Good job, Habibi. Good job. Now, hold on a sec. Just one thing, and then I'm gonna have to leave. Okay, because I can't take too much time because I have also another live stream, guys. So I'm very sorry. Um.
But
Uh.
like that doesn't prove
Jahan.
anything.
No. Wait. Jahan, I also have a question for you. Do you believe
Yes.
that Jesus Christ did die on the cross?
No.
Okay. What if I showed you that he actually did die on the cross from the Quran and from the tafsir too? Would you leave Islam and accept Christ?
No.
Are you sure about that?
100%.
Okay. But what if I showed you? What
So
are you
what?
going to do? No, I'm just saying, like, if I showed you, what are you going to do?
Do what?
I'm asking you,
Like you have to show me. Like there is nothing that shows that Jesus died on the
but
cross. Like even the Bible doesn't prove it.
are you sure about that?
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm
Okay.
100% sure.
Okay. No problem. Just stay with me and don't run, okay? I'm gonna share my screen, Albert. I'm very sorry. I'm just gonna get this guy busted real
Oh, you're
quick.
all right. Do your thing. Do your thing. And appreciate both you guys for pulling up and giving this info. Oh, what happened to it?
Oh, sorry. I need to share the whole window. There you go.
Gotcha. I do have like 5 minutes, fellas. So if you guys can get this thing going in about 5 minutes or so.
All right. Okay. My friend. As you can see, it says here Surah Al Imran. Okay, chapter 3, verse 55. وإذا قال وإذا قال الله يا عيسى إني متوفيك ورافعك إلي ومطهرك. Okay, this is Surah
Which
Al Imran. Hold on.
which ayah? Oh,
Don't
ayah.
آية 55 55.
Okay.
Okay, this is Surah Al Imran, chapter 3, verse 55. It says
Okay.
here, according to Tafsir Ibn Kathir, right? Now let's copy this, translate it over here. Are you watching?
Yes.
Okay. Can you read it for me?
Subhanallah. But is it Tafsir ibn Kasir or what?
Can you read it for me, please?
But you just take a part of it.
Stop
Like I
asking
didn't get
question. Stop asking a question and just read for me, please.
this. Oh, sorry. I have
Read
to.
it. Read it. Read it. Read it.
Kasir said, on the authority of Idris, on the authority of Haben, God caused him to die for 3 days and resurrect him, then raise him up.
According to who? According to Tafsir Ibn Kathir.
Like I am also reading Tafsir ibn Kasir. I don't say it. It's in my phone. Like, can you? Which line does it say? I'm not finding it. Is it beginning or the latter part?
Are you denying one of the earliest respected scholars that actually
I'm not
confirms that
finding it.
Jesus
Like,
did die for 3 days and then resurrected and then went back?
I'm not finding it, so that's why I'm asking. I have also
O-
the Tafsir ibn
Okay,
Kasir open,
so basically, are you saying that this verse is basically it's misunderstood?
but I have also the verse. Allah mentioned when Allah said, "Oh Jesus, indeed, I will take you and raise you to myself and purify you
Are you
from those who believe." from those
my
who
friend.
demand,
Yeah, because
those who
this
follow
English
superior to
translation
those
is
who live until the
fabricated.
day of judgment. And then to me you return, and I will judge between you,
Okay,
between them
okay,
concerning that which
okay,
you
okay,
believe.
okay. You just be quiet. Be quiet. Oh, are you watching? Are you watching?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Let's take this. Okay, let's copy it, and let's actually see what it says. Because you see, I'm a native Arabic, and I can confirm that the word mutawafika, which means I caused you to die. Now let's hear. Let's copy this for those who are
Let's see.
not native Arabic, and I want you to read it for me. Okay,
Is it?
and I want you to answer me yes or no. Do you accept this verse?
Like
Yes or no?
with our,
Can you read it, please?
when God said, "Oh Jesus, I will cause you to die and raise you to me, and I will purify you to myself." Okay.
Do you accept this verse as it is or not?
Of course, I don't know. I accept the verse,
Yes
but
or no? Yes or no? Do
but
you
the
accept this
translation
verse?
of course not.
Do you accept this verse? Yes
I
or
accept
no?
the verse, but not the translation that you are using with Google Translation. Like the Quran has word has a multiple meaning. The word in Arabic has. If you are native speaker, you should know that word in
Mutawafika.
Arabic has multiple meaning.
Okay. Mutawafika. What does mutawafika mean? Look, it says, I will cause you to die. I'm gonna ask you again. Do you
Oh,
accept
okay,
this verse?
okay, okay, I get
Do,
it.
do you accept this verse
Ah,
or not?
okay, okay,
Answer my
okay.
question.
Let's see. I think that's already an answer.
Abdul, do you accept this verse or not?
Of course, I accept the verse, but not the translation. That translation is wrong.
Yeah.
It said,
Sure,
"I
sure,
will
sure.
take you and
Whatever.
raise
Yeah,
you
yeah.
myself."
You know
Not
what?
that
Sheikh,
it said, "I cause you to
You know
die."
what?
Sheikh,
You know what?
can
Keep
I show him
shuffling.
something?
Okay.
Because now he's moving between translations. Can you show him Muhammad Assad's translation?
Why don't you use Sahih International? Like that is the well-known
Sahih,
translation. That is
Sahih
Oh, Sahih
International
International is weak.
is a fabricated, sugar-coated
okay. Then
translation,
use Muslim
and you are
Khan.
being deceived
Then
because you
use
are a
Muslim
donkey.
Khan.
That's why. Anyway,
Use
Albert, I'm
Muslim
gonna have to
Khan.
leave. See you guys, and peace of Christ to all of you, and that's it. And Abdul, read your book from the actual translation that are actually made by native Arabic. Don't read the one that actually been fabricated, and look
That
and learn about the truth. Salam.
Salam.
God bless you. God bless you. Man, that was great.
man, that guy was like, if you believe that guy that was taking to Google Translation and he was talking about native Arabic. Like I
He is
think the no, and he was taking to Google Translation to translate it.
because he was doing it for you because you don't know Arabic.
So
Look, you can like go to Assad's translation of the Quran.
why should I
It
take? Like I
actually,
didn't even heard of him. Like who is he? What is his akida? What is his belief?
but still, if you go to the Arabic, it says "Iqala illahu ya Isa inni mutawafika wa raifuka ilayya wa mutafuruka." So it does say mutawafika. Why are you denying it? In the Arabic, it says mutawafika, which means caused to die. Why are you
Yeah.
denying that?
Mutafak, like do you know that word
Mutawafika.
in Arabic has multiple meaning? It depends on the context.
No, maut has to do with death, nothing else. If you see
No,
the
no,
word maut,
no,
if
no.
you
You
see the
say,
word maut, it's about death, nothing else.
do you know a verse in Quran? Arabic can have different meaning. A word in Arabic can have different meaning on the context.
I challenge you to go and find another verse which has mutawafika in it, and it doesn't mean caused to die.
Okay, let's see.
Well, while you're looking that up, if you would like to, Winston, you as well. I know it's going to be starting up the week, but I do plan on coming back on live with the same type of topic. So, Winston, if you want to come up, you're more than glad. Well, actually, let me ask you this: what time is it there now for you? If you can give that information.
To me, it's now 10 past 11 p.m.
Oh, okay. So that's not you're not too far. But so if you're able to, I don't know necessarily your work schedule, but I plan on going live again probably Monday around uh 11 or 12 EST. Well, obviously AM and or PM EST Eastern Standard Time. So if you would like to, if you're able to, because I'm pretty sure you're usually very heavy in the comments around that time too. But if you'd like to, I'd love to have you back up so you can continue to share and because you taught me something today how to connect the hadiths with the Quran and everything like that. So I would appreciate it if you're able to. If you'd like to come back up on Monday, that would be a blessing.
Cool, no problem. I'll check. I'll check your notifications.
Amen. God bless you, Winston. Jahan, same to you. If you're free, if you want to come back up and have another conversation about some more of these understandings, you're more than welcome. I'll be live again on this topic on Monday, around.
No, let's wait. Like you talk about the abrogation. Like that was not clear. Allah can abrogate however He wills.
I'm pretty sure it's quite clear what Winston brought to you and brought to your attention, and how you also tried to say, "Oh, well, you don't even know the Arabic of it, nor do you." So I can't
No,
really
the
go with
verse
that.
can abrogate. Like I
But
never denied that it can be abrogated. What do you mean?
so
Allah can
you
abrogate the
you
verse and being
stated that
abrogated a similar
abrogation
way.
just means that the verses are still going to be there. Brother Winston
Yes, some that
displayed
are there, some are
that
not
no.
there. Some that are there, some are not there.
Okay, cool. So what you were explaining was that your version of abrogation means this, that the verses are just ruled on differently. And then when you said all this, so that's what abrogation means. Then Brother Winston went to not only the hadith, but also the tafsir that you thought you were quoting. And in the tafsir, it said erase, meaning the verses are no longer there. So unfortunately, what you were talking about really doesn't have any merit. Because again,
Hello?
not only the hadiths don't agree with you, you were muted because you just kept talking. And the
Let
tafsir also does not agree with you. But with that being said, I do got skedaddle. Again, Jahan, if you want to come back up, you can, and we'll see you again on Monday. Appreciate you, Winston. Appreciate you. God bless you.
Thanks, brother.
Hopefully, you
God
have a
bless you.
great rest of your night.
I will
And
enjoy it too.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then for everybody else in the chat, appreciate you guys for pulling up, for rocking with your boy for 3 hours, rocking with Winston, everybody. Man, we're just here to learn. And again, I appreciate people like Winston being able to share because a lot of areas I'm still learning in, and he was able to come up and give me some good information. So, God bless you guys. You guys have a great rest of your evening, depending on where you are in the world. And we'll catch you again tomorrow if you would like to learn about the Trinity in the Old Testament via Alpha Deed and Anthony Rogers. God bless you guys. I'm out.